Howdy kids, welcome to the Debunkatorium. Joe Black is here and we can finally get fucking started. Oh my goodness, welcome everybody. Good to have you here. I haven't streamed for a little while. It's been that sort of week. We'll get into that in a minute. Joe Blue is also here, says Big Fish, brilliant. I know Max has popped in. He might be in bed now, but he popped in to let me know that he sent me a wizard clip that I haven't looked at yet, but hopefully it's epic and it's the one I was after. Even if it's not, Max, I certainly appreciate the thought and the effort, sir. You are a god amongst men. Please let me know, people, if my audio is distorting or misbehaving in any way, shape or form. If you see me popping into Discord chats or whatever else, it's just been misbehaving. So I've got no idea what I sound like, but I recorded yesterday and it sounded okay. So fingers crossed. Also in Jay Gill, Calder Vasold is here. Real Cygnus, better than fake Cygnus. Big Fish, of course. Cali Badge Dude, who's been talking trash in La Charte. And that's about it. And that'll do. Just quietly. I'm fine with that. Max is an evil hacker. That is confirmed. And Max thinks it's exactly the Wixit clip that I asked for. That would be amazing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to load up Discord on my other screen and we can all check it out shortly because that'll be sweet. I'll just hide all the messages where Max has been talking shit about all of you. It's not a private. So it must be in mine somewhere. Where did you post it, Max? If you can let me know here in the chat, that would be sweet as. Because I can't see any new messages floating around. So I've probably missed it because I'm a dickhead. Anyway. Max is going to hack Big Fish's shit. I'm absolutely... Oh, he's dropped the link. Oh, Max, you're the best. You are the best. Let's open that up in a new tab. And I'll have a little goosey, I will. That's what I'm going to do. What did you think of the theme tune? I've got about 400 of them because I finally pulled the trigger and paid money for Shuno. Yes, I think that is the one. There it is. Ah, I missed that. I saw Shifty's Freedom Tale picture and missed yours. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that is it. I'm just going to have a look on my end really quick. Thank you, Max. Yeah. Outstanding. All right, you've all got to see this. You've all got to see this. Just so you know, Max, MC Toon sent me one as well. From the same thingy-me-bob. But it's like either after that or just before it. And it's absolutely going to get used. So thank you. That is outstanding. And I love you guts. What else is going on in the chat? Joe Black has a short clip from FTFE. Yeah, we're going to be starved for content because I got no idea what I'm doing. So, yeah. And Callie Badger asked, is there XP for this channel? It's not showing up on my end. You might need to adjust. I've got a top fans button thingy on mine, which annoys me because I don't understand the XP thing at all. And we all know it doesn't really work. But it is showing up there, so you might need to refresh. Cow. Anyway, let me show you this thing. We'll go to the... All right, we'll have some Inception for a second. Oh, you're going to see behind the scenes. No. Here we go. And blow this shit up. And we'll just play this back. Hopefully you can hear it. I might need to actually, before I do that, we might need that on. We'll see how we go. Okay. Make it big and play.
2024 is going to be a rough year for you guys. We're taking away satellites. We're taking away celestial navigation. We're taking away claimed Euclidean visual space. And we're taking away the sky. And that's going to be rough for you guys. I mean, there's literally no rebuttal to any of them. Like when you claim that these things don't work on a flat Earth, we've proven that they do now objectively. 2024 is going to be a rough year for you guys. We're taking away satellites.
Objectively,
we're taking away celestial navigation. Taking away claimed Euclidean visual space. And we're taking away the sky.
The sky
and
gone. No sky.
That's going to be rough for you guys. I mean, there's literally no rebuttal to any of them. Like when you claim that these things don't work on a flat Earth, we've proven that they do now objectively.
They do. Objectively, bro. Objectively. Oh my God, we're doomed. All of us. That was in 2024. And I think we're okay. But time will tell. 2024 was certainly a rough year for Witset, especially at the end. Those last couple of weeks. Holy shit. A clip from Craggles. We do love the Craig. Let's jump across to the viewing screen and have a look at this. Do you know what'll help? If I turn on the audio on that screen, that'll be great. 5 seconds of goodness here. Is everybody ready? All right, behave yourselves. Here we go.
I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide. Jim Daniels, £5, let's roll. I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide. Jim Daniels, £5, let's roll.
Story checks out. No lies detected. I love that Craig's willing to share. And it's that kind of honesty and forthrightness that we all appreciate about our beloved FTFE. Enjoy, sir. Was that echoing? Oh, because I didn't turn off desktop audio. Apologies. Let's check out the butt plug one more time. Boop. Actually, let's use something I never use. Let's go to this one. Why not?
I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide. Jim Daniels, £5, let's roll. I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide. Jim Daniels, £5, let's roll. I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide.
18 inches wide. Beautiful. And it was probably distorted as fuck because I could see it was hitting the red peak. But there we go. I'll just leave it on this for now. Because I never use this screen. We never use the little viewy screen. So, yeah. Hopefully, Craig will be rolling out a butt plug emoji very, very soon. So let's talk about this week. So I had plans this week. I had big plans because Milady went away with her kidlets for the week. So I was off the clock other than looking after Lily, the tiny little Boston Terrier. And the plan was I've got like somewhere between 3 and 5 videos in the pipeline that I'm working on. And I'm jumping back and forth between editing all of them with fits and starts. The clip from Max is going to inform one of those, along with the clip from MC Toon and some other bits and pieces. No spoilers. I just need to move Satan over here. If I can. There we go. You should be over here. There we go. That's better. Hello, I'm Satan. Beautiful. Yeah, so the plan was get all those videos edited and streamed like pretty much every night last week. And instead, what I did was stream 0 nights last week. And the reason for that, honestly, I just wasn't feeling it. And it's not a reflection on any of you, because I did want to hang out with you all, but I kind of just took the week to just go back to being a fan and watching everyone else's stuff. And, you know, jumped on the Discords and had a chat with a bunch of you from the Zoo crew, which was awesome. Got the itch and jumped onto Speaker's Corner and had a quick chat with Jaren, which was nice. And was sitting in on Unfornicated, DC Dano's stream yesterday and had a jolly good chat and a catch up with him, which was cool. So yeah, basically just leached off everybody else. No, that's not true. But I did get a video out, so that was nice. But yeah, it was just like every time I thought about jumping on and streaming, it was just like, I don't know what I want to do. And it's just same old stuff and nothing's really jumped out at me as motivational or something that I wanted to cover. So I just thought, you know what, if I'm not super feeling it, I'm just going to leave it. And wait until I do. But today I absolutely do. I was going to stream last night. Obviously didn't. I was a bit burnt out from chatting to Dan. He's hard work. And then I wanted to go live earlier this morning. FTFE was live, so I was sitting in on that. And by the time it was creeping closer to go time, I had to take Lily for a walk. I got motivated for the theme tune thing, had the idea, wanted to get something happening there. And anyway, here we are. So that's the story. I may go live again later on tonight after this one, probably just for a chat. I might even just bring up the Discord and a voice channel that's on my server that we never ever use, and we can just sit around and shoot the shit for a couple of hours. That could be fun. And then I think probably tomorrow night as well. Couple of ideas I'm kicking around because I've got all these videos to edit. Maybe I'll just jump on, we'll set up this scene and I'll just sit there, maybe make it a Debunkers only stream, members only, and just chat to you like while I'm sitting there editing. I won't show you what I'm editing and you won't be able to hear it. But yeah, just, you know, can keep me company while I'm working on that. That's one idea. The other idea is kind of got the itch to play more Football Manager, so I might do that. And I think Football Manager streams will just be members only moving forward because nobody gives a shit. And anyone who does is probably a debunker. So why the hell not? Steve's Creepy Van says, new channel idea, DP plugs butts. It's similar to the Home Shopping Network, but all plugs of the butt variety. I mean, I'm way ahead of you, Steve. I do have a Rumble channel and that's exactly what it is. Speaking of Rumble, I got a wacky comment on the DP Debunked Rumble channel. We might go have a look at that because it made me giggle. But by the way, Rumble is just a dumpster fire of dirt. Seriously. Sign in. Yep, that's me. Do the things. What I meant to say was hello. I just got here. Welcome, Steve's Creepy Van. If you're not subscribed to Steve's Creepy Van, the artist formerly known as Steve from Wormhaven, seriously, what the actuals, kids? Like, what's wrong with you? Don't understand. Awesome content, going after Dearth, proving that he's a lying, grifting, scamming piece of shit. And we're all for that. Oh, there's another comment. So the Flat Earth training video that I released yesterday, I put that up over on Rumble, and it now has 3 comments. One of them is mine, but I want to have a look at it. Well, it says 3 comments, and I can only see 2. So one of them's missing. Anyway, let's have a look at that because it's pretty funny. We'll zoom in so you can see it. But someone was very displeased by me making fun of the flatties. Yashadel. Hi, Yashadel. Good to have you along on Rumble that I don't really care about at all. He says, trust me when I tell you, you won't be laughing for long. Reality wins. Please, live accordingly. And I replied, read what you wrote to yourself slowly. So yeah, Yashadel seems to be of the opinion that Earth might actually be flat, which means he's an idiot. And, you know, confirmably wrong. Oh, there's the reply. There we go. Yes, it does. Slow or fast, Earth is still motionless and sits on a foundation. The reality of what that means cannot be escaped by anyone or anything. So I think what we'll do is... would you be kind enough to provide some peer-reviewed evidence supporting your claim that Earth is motionless and sits on a foundation? Thanks. Love ya. Boom. We've got a conversation going on over on Rumble. Rumble, you can absolutely see behind the scenes of, because as I said, I don't give a crap. I'm just reposting my stuff. I'm making no money from it. I've got 4 followers. I think one of them is me. And 299 views. So we're getting there. Oh, I lie. I've earned 1 whole cent over on Rumble. Fantastic. And then the videos we've got over there, we've got Flat Earth Dave proving the globe, Simon Goldberg, the app video for Dearth, more Goldberg, Fraud Almighty, of course, more Dearth Derp, my floaty ship video or flying ship video, bananas, all the stuff is there in the music. People are loving the music videos over there, apparently, with the all of 22, 30 and 20 views. It's just funny to see the difference between like a completely right-wing centered dirt fest to what happens over on the Yub Tubs. Crazy stuff. It's very, very wacky. Joe Black says, we all knew that DP stands for deep penetration. It stands for double penetration because we give it to science denial here in the Debunkatorium in both ends. Yes, that's right. We've got like a little catchy phrase type thing now. And I just busted it out all over your face, neck and chest. Thank you, Lindsay Bow, for posting the link to Steve's Creepy Van. Go and subscribe to Steve's Creepy Van. Also, subscribe to over there. That way. Go past, like there's Satan. Go over Satan to the DP Debunks logo. Then go over that and you'll see Conspiracy Music Studios. Over that. Go subscribe to Conspiracy Music Studios as well. Please do. What else we got? Calder has got a clip of Vlad losing his shit with Mike. We'll check that out. And Wilson says he got all 12 of his socks blocked there earlier just for posting facts politely. Okie dokie. Let's copy that link address. We'll go over here. And we'll get to that. No.
I'm Craig and my butt plug is 18 inches wide. Jim Daniels, £5. Let's roll.
Thanks, Craig. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that one crept up on me. Good Lord. Really? That's how we're going to do it? Far out. Shut up, lad. Okay, is it going to copy here? No. That's annoying. Because I'm using the 2 PC thing. It's been very dumb. Very, very dumb. Okay, let me just go back here. And because I've watched it over here now, it should be in my history. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I've got a better idea. I'm so organized. Let me just switch over to this for a second while I sort my life out real quick. In case you're wondering, I am, in fact, fucking idiot because I've got the chat over on this computer as well. So is that a clip from you, Calder? I hope so. Anyway, let me just plug that in and check it out. I've got wicked delay coming through on that too. Okay, viewing. Yeah.
The multitudes of things that they do, right? You don't sit
Okay,
there and
that
call
doesn't
them out.
make the earth flat.
You don't call. I could be wrong. You don't fucking sit there. You don't criticize this fucking government thing. You're full of shit, dude. You're an absolute liar. Your whole fucking episodes and streams. Okay, I'm gonna take a stab at it, and I could be wrong. You don't fucking sit there. You don't criticize this fucking government for anything. The multitudes of things that they do, right? You don't sit there and call them out. You don't call them out. No, listen. You don't call them out for the bullshit that they do.
That doesn't make the earth flat.
Right? You want to know what makes the earth flat? Is that it doesn't.
Steve's creepy van is 100% correct. In all seriousness, DP stands for Delicious Penguin because they objectively are, bro. Objectively. Sorry, let's listen to Vlad just losing his shit for no reason. Mike, by the way, is right. Everything that Vlad's complaining about here, you don't criticize the government for all the blah, 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 blah. Nothing at all to do with the shape of the earth.
Fucking curve. That's fucking simple. It's that fucking simple. But you want to know what your bitch ass
man,
don't
if it's that simple, don't you think there'd be more flat earthers?
You want to know what your bitch ass don't do? You don't do any of the fucking work. You don't take your punk
you're
ass
right.
out there. I am right. Because you haven't done it. You haven't observed for yourself. Bitch ass,
Yeah, I have
lying
an
ass,
education.
punk ass, drunk ass motherfucker. You goddamn
I'm
right.
drunk? Am I drunk right now?
Because I got a fucking education from the same education system. Listen now.
Oh, yes, the indoctrination. Ooh, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the Roosevelts, or whatever you fucking call it.
Hey, Mike,
get the shot. The same education system that said get the shot because the shot's good for you guys.
Yeah, it is.
Same education system that said you don't need a fucking appendix. What the fuck you need an appendix for?
Yeah, we evolved out of it.
Oh, you see, man, you know what? Bitch ass motherfucker, I ain't got no fucking words for you. Exactly.
Oh man, you must be really mad you don't have the control of that mute button.
Shut the fuck up, because I'm done with you.
Why?
Motherfucker.
Why do you or any of your cronies care if we believe in a flat earth?
Because what you're doing is spreading misinformation, and that's what I do.
You sound like the government.
I fight the. Oh my god! Okay, I'm turning you up.
Yes, Mike says it so well. And all he's got to do here is drop the story about his girls coming home from school and saying, his teacher's assistant or whoever tried to convince us the earth is flat. Like, Mike's told the story, he tells it better than I did, and I'm not going to tell the story for him. But at that point, he was like, fuck this shit. And I could not agree more. Vlad is a loose cannon. That guy is unstable and he's not right in the head.
So what I'm doing is fighting the spread of misinformation. And actually, I'm doing the exact thing that Mikey Smith is doing. I'm turning my car into the Globemobile. I have signs. I actually already did some flat earth or some globe earth activism. I have pamphlets. Let me show you my pamphlet.
I bet you do. You freaking homo.
Arrogant ass devil, dude.
Why do you even care?
Here you go. I got my pamphlet. It's beautiful, actually. You can't really see it.
Some business
but I have
Okay. I just heard one of them. I don't know if it was this Pubby or Old Me No More, but one of them decided to drop HOMO. I bet you do, you homo. Like, really? 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 The best you got? Just showing that the mental aptitude and the level of discourse that's involved in the flat earth community. Yeah, exactly. The more shit they talk, the more Mike keeps poking them because we can respond to all of this stuff. And that's the difference. Without going super in depth in it, because I can't and I can't be asked. Like, the difference between the flat earth and reality is that reality doesn't need to invoke magic. It just doesn't. It all just is. And it all just works. And it's not contradictory at all. Other than the Flurf challenges, where there are 2 known exceptions, the laws of Flurf never, ever, ever fail. Never, ever.
I have a whole lot of good information here. I got a QR code. Rockets went to the moon. The firmament doesn't exist. All the good stuff. It's good, and I hand this out to people. I've actually handed out a few. So yeah, I am out there doing the work, just like Mikey Smith.
What makes your info?
Meat permits Tad for 5 United States Imperial credits of the realm says you can't be doing what Mikey Smith is doing with all your toes, and that is 100% correct. Yes. If you have all of your appendages, it's not the same. It's not the same. Mike's got it easy. He's got it easy. 1, because his feet remain whole, and 2, because he's dealing in truth and reality. So there's that.
Correct info. Just because you say
because it's verified, like it's empirically proven info.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So give me one flat Earth proof that's empirically proven.
I don't have to, buddy. Why do you care?
See, that's it, Cubby. You did it. You did it. I don't
You
have
know
to
what?
give you empirical
Shifting the burden
evidence.
of proof. I don't
want
have
to know
to prove
something,
it.
man. Guys,
You did it, Cubby.
Guys,
Okay.
listen. This is exactly what they want, right?
There goes that nervous laugh.
Get so triggered every time they do that shit. It's so dishonest and so disingenuous and so childish. And they all do it. Witsit is the worst. Just in general, because I'm trying to get him to tell you all about it, but he doesn't want to. He's broken. I've broken the Witsit. Anyway, this shithead.
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
He does it too. This whole burden of proof thing. Like, well, we don't have to do anything. You, the guys saying the Earth's round, you have to prove it. It's like, no, that's not how it works. And it's not about getting an advantage or a leg up. Okay? Flat Earthers are the minority. What you believe, because it is a belief, it's a religious style belief, because you're in a cult, okay? You're the ones going against the norm. You can't just grant yourself the position of like, ours is the default. It isn't. It absolutely isn't. So you can't say that the globe has the burden of proof. And by doing that, you're fucking yourselves in the ass anyway, because we have all of the evidence. The fact that you just are it and ignore it, okay, that's not our problem. That's your problem. You're the ones who demonstrate that you are completely dishonest, okay, and that you haven't actually looked into this stuff properly, because anything that doesn't fit with your predetermined conclusion, you just throw away. We don't do that. Okay, if we get a flat earther in this chat, if what's his face over on Rumble comes back and says, here's the evidence, we will go and we will look at that evidence and we will evaluate it objectively, bro. But we will weigh it up and we will peer review it. And then we do them the kindness when it's incorrect, because it's always incorrect or misguided or demonstrating a misunderstanding of basic physics or science, of informing them of the problem. People like MC2 go so far as to say, here's how you could improve that. Here's what you need to do. Here's how to make it better. But they don't care and they don't listen. They just nut everything. It's absolute bullshit.
And Jaren, all 6 of them were radio silent from the 21st through the 24th. And FTFE wasn't even there during that period.
Did I accidentally skip like miles ahead? I did.
Useful. Everyone was pointing out different. I think in the time between.
I don't know. I've lost it.
Sorry, guys.
Fuck
this
it.
is.
I don't care anymore. Anyway, that was fun. Thank you, Cold. Just hearing Mike riffing shit out of them. Always enjoyable. But the point he just made, all 6 of them were radio silent from the 21st to the 24th. I wonder why that might be. They just been away for probably over a week and a half or whatever, once you factor in the time in Punta Arenas, both arriving and departure, traveling home, lengthy flights, takes a lot out of you. Plus, it was right before fucking Christmas, you tool. So maybe after going to the arse end of the planet and being in a desert without any quality sleep because the fucking sun didn't set for days on end, maybe they were tired and wanted to spend some time with their families. I know that's hard for you flatties to understand because everybody who you ever cared about or respected basically turns their back on you and walks away because you're a fucking whack job. But for us, that kind of thing still happens. So pull your head out of your ass and think. Just think critically for a minute. If you can't do it, we're happy to do it for you. Douchebags. Yeah, Cali Badger Dude, how dare I? 24/7 content or it's flat. In the week I haven't streamed over the last week, 8 billion new flat earthers were born because I wasn't there to combat it. Which is why I'm back today. Meat Permits Tad says, I would like to go see the 24-hour sun, but as a I'm guessing that's Seattleite. If I see the sun for more than 45 minutes, I turn into a pumpkin. Or Seatite? I don't know. Fits of Galapagos Islands of the Holy Land Rage. I mean, how much time did it take spending your wife and then go back to shouting on YouTube? Not that long. Not that long. Unless said partner calls cops and you wind up in a cell. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. We have got some shit to cover. Do you know what we haven't done for a little while? And we totally should. Seattleite. There we go. I've never been to Seattle, so I'm not familiar with the cloudy stuff. I know they've got a space needle, which isn't even in space, so, you know, that's fake and gay. I'm doing this with my hand. I don't know why. Yeah. What were we going to do? Oh, we were going to check in with the worst humans on YouTube.
I'm a disgusting person that everything that I say is a complete lie.
It's time to be awful. We spread lies and say things that are probably unlawful. Come and be gross with Flatzoid and Friends. Flatzoid and Friends, you crossed the line. Talking filth about Elizabeth like it's just fine. You call her names, you vile clown. Try to tear her apart to drag her down. Rabbit scum, BJ2. With Flatzoids, crap-tastic, these jerks just spew. Flat earth lies, they're sexist too. These horrible folks are Flatzoid and Friends. They aren't clever or brave, they're cruel and obscene. They're full of venom, their minds aren't clean. Man of God, no, just full of hate. Circle-jerking cowards, Flatzoid and Friends. We're all lying liars who lie here, and we are disgusting humans. Report us now.
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
Yes, you do. It's tiny and embarrassing, and yeah, we all know it. But I'm very happy to report, ladies and gentlemen, that after a bit of a bump not too long ago, numbers are dropping, and he's back down to about 5,010 or under 100 or whatever subscribers. Good work, everybody, for jumping ship from Ratzoid and Friends. Well done, people, for waking up to how absolutely shit he is. So you can see here, lost 10, lost another 10, lost another 10. It was down to 5K, nearly under 4K again. So close, people, so close. But then he spent some money and bought another 10 subscribers and bumped everything back up. I mean, look at this, okay? Look at this. 3 videos in the one day. I'm assuming most of those were fucking live streams for 925 views. It's about 300 views each go, which is fine. I mean, look, more views than I get for live streams, probably more views than I get in the video. But for 5,000 subscribers, it's a bit shit. It is a bit shit. And as long as that number is heading in the right direction and people are bailing, I am a happy camper. So as usual, we'll be keeping an eye on that. And I did want to thank Meat Permits Tad once again for a super chat. I am thinking at some point, and it's not a case of asking for money, it'll just be for shits and giggles, of setting a goal, a super chatty goal, with the reward being if said goal is met, and it'll be a ridiculous goal and we'll have to carry it over multiple streams, like 200 or something. But the reward for you lot will be, I will do an entire stream in costume. Won't be a globe costume, I'm thinking, because I've got it on hand, Beetlejuice with full face makeup. That could be fun. Or I'll purchase a brand new one and do something different. But I need to nail down the planning and timings and everything for that. So that's just something pondering. Meat Permits Tad says, for 2 Imperial United States credits, ask for money, chump. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I talked about this yesterday with Dan on his stream, because a bunch of people, when we hit 1,000 subs, and once again, thank you all for 1,000 subs plus here in the Debunkatorium. Still mind-blowing, still amazing. A lot of people were like, well, now you need to do a membership drive. And I was like, no, no, I don't, because I will not actively encourage people to spend money, because I don't need it, and it's not how I want to roll. I have no problem with people's generosity at all, and I appreciate it. I do the same thing on other people's streams, so I get it. I absolutely get it. But if we were going to do some sort of streamy type marathon or event, that it had a fundraising component, it would far more likely be for some kind of charity or cause. So yeah, for example, if we wanted to pay to fire Death off into space for a rocket, in a rocket or on a rocket, strapped to a rocket, maybe, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. I would be doing stuff to help fundraise for that. Or if we wanted to do some sort of experiment with a weather balloon, a la Creaky, Mr. Sensible, or if we, I don't know, wanted to raise $500 million to send up an actual satellite, and crowdfund that. Absolutely. And I've seriously pondered it. And Tori Hanzo has jumped in for 65 secs. The only way that could have been better, it couldn't have been better, but if it was 69 secs, that would have been hilarious. Thank you, Tori Hanzo. As you all know, you cannot spell Debunkatorium without Tori, and it wouldn't be the same without him. So good to see you. Please tell me you have a platypus costume, says Kelly Badger Dude. I do not, but that could be an option. It'd never be naked, Big Fish. I mean, from the waist down, obviously, because I always am. Just freeballing all the time, going full Donald Duck. But yeah. Meat Permit says negative money for that. So would I. And Omega says, why waste money on someone who will still deny what he sees? Yeah. I mean, the idea being, if you were doing something like that for Dearth, that it would have the desired effect, which is you can't come back and lie about that. You are on the frigging rocket. The only one that's like semi-realistic to do that is to stick them on the Blue Origin cock rocket. It's the only way you could do it. It's the only real one going. The Virgin one, like, way too risky. Way too risky. But yeah, even then, as you said, Peter Markley says, no, it obviously has to be a costume of the DP Debunk's superhero character. Yeah, that is an option because I've got some contacts who could make that happen, like Batman style with like the sculpted muscly bits and the right sort of textured material and the mask sculpting and everything else. So yeah, that could be a thing. If we do it part of the stream and the goal, we'd have a poll of what the costume will be. And then obviously there'd need to be some lead time to get it prepped and created. But that could be badass. Meat Permits Taz says, hold on, why is putting Death on the Virgin flight risky? Yeah, you're right. I'm overthinking that, aren't I? No. We're not going to go there. Like, look, as horrible and gross and disgusting as they are, I'm not going to wish any of them physical harm, okay, or loss of existence or anything like that. So, no. But I mean, as far as you can say or regard sitting on top of a giant rocket full of explosives and launching yourself up above the planet, the Blue Origin cock rocket is relatively safe and proven, as is a SpaceX Dragon, but that shit is super expensive. I mean, the cock rocket's not cheap either for effectively a 5-minute carnival ride, but what an experience. I would do it. Absolutely. I would do it. That'd be cool as I just can't afford it. Someone else must pay for it. Oh yeah. I'll do it. Imagine filling the cock rocket with like doing that as like a final experiment, right? A couple of normies, a couple of flatties, everybody with cameras, getting the same footage, doing all the same stuff, going up, seeing the curvature. Deny that shit. You were there. You saw it. You know it's not in the studio. You know there's no fake dummy strapped to gurneys or anything else going on. Even saying Katy Perry up again and she can sing and annoy everybody. That'd be great. But yeah, that is a thing. I'm just checking the chat and humming to myself while I'm reading. Peter Markley's drawing a thing. He's inked page 1. You mean you traced page 1? Chasing Amy. Still got ink pages 2 to 4, color everything. Awesome. I need to check that out, Mr. Markley. And good to have you along, Peter Markley. Ooh, a manga thing. Nice. Windows are LED screens. Ah, got it. That makes sense. Just look at Whisper still lying and grifting. Yeah, and that is infuriating. He went to Antarctica, which he was one of the loudest voices saying can't happen, can't go below the 60th parallel, you're not allowed to go, there's no free and independent exploration, blah, blah, blah. He went there and like categorically saw, other than, you know, you might not want to do the thing you want to do because you'll can die, like fill your boots, do whatever you want, walk around the camp, there's no one with guns, no one to stop you. You can do whatever you want, but it's at your own risk, and there's limitations to what is sensible and what's not. Use your best judgment. But he went there, the sun didn't set at all, and he's still now like, nah, it's flat, bro. So dishonest. Just gross. Gotta protect the griff. I don't have a song for it. Because it's not worth that kind of effort, but we do need to check in on another horrible, grifty, scammy piece of shit. Earth. We need to check in on Earth Films because it still shits me. But this hasn't really moved, has it? Since the last time we checked in. 17.4K subby dubs for this little grubby grub. And there's a new short out that has all of 48 views. A brand new short. I don't know when this landed. We're not going to watch it. That's for damn sure. Shut up.
In Vrindavan.
2 likes, 48 views, absolute garbage. So that didn't really work. We gave him a couple of free likes there, which I regret. This one, I'm not going to click on it and give it an extra view, but 776 views, still over 900 likes, which is obviously complete and utter bullshit. And then this one from 3 hours ago has all of 6 views, which is an absolute joke. But again, the views are just rolling in for old Earthy Smurf. Except for this one, obviously. They're slow to get started, but 11K, 5K, 10K, 9K, 31K, 7.5K. Oh, good times. But here's where it gets interesting. And before we get into where it gets interesting, Real Cygnus for $2 says, insert your own clever butt plug remark. Insert. Get it? Insert your own. I see what you did there. Because you keep sending me pictures. And then Parents Tad has responded and said, no. I mean, you got to play along. Tori Hanzo, imagine sending Dearth into space and that happens to be the time we make first contact with some extraterrestrial race. They would think we're all stupid like fudge. Yeah. And to be fair, for the most part, it's not that far off. It's all right. Charles. Yeah, good point, Big Fish. Which shit before? 24-hour sun would be a problem for flat Earth. Winter after. No, nothing's changed. It's all fine. But Charles Arnold nailed it. It's like, it was, nothing's changed. Send me $20,000. Yes. Anyway, here's where it gets interesting for Earth. Earth Films. Da 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 da. There we go. 10 videos, 17, just under 17,500 subby dub dubs. One grifter in a tub. Let's just have a look here. Because I find this great. Obviously, things have been moving and shaking. Views and videos. So one new video there for the 8th one. 17K, 17.1, 17.3, 17.4, and then nothing. But another 100 here, but not many views. And then look at what's happened since. Hang on. So 100 subscribers, 17.5. And then we've lost 100. 3 views went down. There's another 3 views here, but then we've lost 2 views. Just the 1 view. And then, whoa, 5,000 views, 7,000, 25,000, 5,000. Gonski. After a new video went up. What's happened there? I suspect that Earth Films, aka PED, Ocean, ran out of money. The budget's been spent. He's not buying any new subs. He stopped buying views, and I suspect the reports that people have been submitting to bring the earlier activity that I don't have access to because I'm not paying for Social Blade, that noise. I suspect some of the reports that were submitted have been actioned upon by YouTube, or they've recognized that something very iffy is going on. DP Debunks, I'm also guessing you might be deleting old videos to get such negative view counters. I mean, maybe, but if they've gone private or whatever, then those things shouldn't count anymore. But you might be right. You may well be right. But then why would you do that? Because it's clearly having a negative impact. So it doesn't make any sense. I guess he's probably had it requested by people who've probably taken part in debates or something on the old Matters Now and said, hey, we've heard all about you and fuck that noise. Don't want to risk being associated with you at all. Let's get the hell out of here. So yeah, good shout, Max. That's the thing. I'd like to think that YouTube acted on the reports, but that is wishful thinking because they are a little bit rubbish at doing that. But I've found that delicious, that just nothing's happening because someone's out of cash. Usually your shield check from NASA would land somewhere around here between like the 21st and 26th, or your payment from YouTube. He may not have gotten one. May not have gotten one. They may have withheld it because of those reports. That could be a thing. Anyway, that's what's happening. And then we'll check in on dipshit if it's going to work. It's not going to work. Really? Are you fucking serious here?
I'm a stupid flat earther,
there we
right?
go.
And I'm just a loser.
Excellent. He's just not going to disappear, is he? God damn it. Just turn that off. My wits at the platypus is broken. Very sad. Anyway, I wanted to check in on this. Not a lot of movement on his scammy grifty fundraiser. He's at 67% of his undisclosed goal. Just a reminder, initially, this thing went up with a goal of $10,000 for a private situation, a time-sensitive situation that's required his full attention. The previous goal was accidentally ended, so he's reposted with the updated amount. There's no amount there, Austin. There's no amount at all. It's unknown. We don't know what you're after. Is this the remainder that you didn't get to? Is this another 20,000? Is it $8 billion? Nobody knows, but you're only at 67% of the goal, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency for a serious time-sensitive situation. This is still running. I'd wager, based on what you've said, time is up at this point, but doesn't seem to be an issue. So there is that. There is that. I'm just going to turn that off briefly because you guys are here in Discord going nuts, I suspect. Anyway, enough of that garbage. Do you know who we haven't heard from?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County.
Got his tail all over my face. That's going to trigger again, isn't it? Because all my buttons are misbehaving.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County.
They're all broken. There we go. Okay, let's try. CC, are you all right for a chat?
This is a fucking phone call. God damn it.
No, not at all. It broke because I pressed the button twice. Let's go back to this screen. Funny how the Flat Earth training video has done so well in just 24 hours. I mean, well is a relative term, completely subjective, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's outdone Admiral Byrd, which is nice. I think the Admiral Byrd one is a better tune, just quietly. I really enjoyed making that one, just ripping off the chat messages and off to the races. It was so much fun. But I do really like the so you want to be a flat earther thing. God damn it, Cali Badge dude. Jesus Christ. Yes. Yeah. Like, I think it did well, Tori, but I could be remembering it wrong. Here's what I'm going to do. Move this up there. Add a thing, media source, and then I've just got to find it in my delivery folder. I think that's it. You've all got to go and watch this again. Let me just give this a shot. Let's see if it... I don't think that's what I wanted. I think that's the wrong source. Is it media source? Or is it VLC video source? Video capture? No. Yeah, so it must be media source. Okay. File. Unless it's the wrong format, maybe? Hmm. Okay. Let's give it a crack anyway. We'll see if this works. The way I remember all the stories of Admiral Byrd is he took a solo flight to the North Pole first and found the opening to inner Earth. That's new to me. Cool story, bro. That story is the one where he sees green fields and mountains that shouldn't exist. Then 2 UFOs take control of his aircraft and land him to meet their leader or president. The second time is Operation High Jump, where he commanded a US fleet to Antarctica to the last remaining Nazis, but instead got attacked and almost destroyed by UFOs. I could be remembering it wrong. Yeah.
The way I remember all of the stories of Admiral Byrd as he took a solo flight to the North Pole first and found the opening to inner Earth. That story is the one where he sees green fields and mountains that shouldn't exist, and 2 UFOs take control of his aircraft and land him to meet their leader or president. The second time is Operation High Jump, where he commanded a US fleet to Antarctica to find the last remaining Nazis, but instead got attacked and almost destroyed by UFOs. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I just want some attention. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I'm pulling it out of my ass. 1958, Operation Deep Freeze 3. My dad was the guy who found the snow cruiser. He said they slept in it. They buried it for later retrieval and it was never found again. He told me he hot-rodded an M29 Weasel with a bigger engine from a Dodge Power Wagon that had fallen down a crevasse. They used it to pull sleds to a hot spring, but it took an entire day to get there and a day to get back. He said they sent a diver down in the hot spring and didn't find anything living, so it was a fun day off and they did round trips every few days. People who are in Antarctica now say there are no hot springs. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I just want some attention. But I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I'm talking out of my ass. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I just want some attention. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering. I could be remembering it wrong. Or I'm talking out of my ass. Crazy screaming and yelling, can't freak out. The popular small grays come from under the earth. They have always been here, all the clues are there. They prefer to operate at night. Their crafts are said to be pitch black within. Those big black or red eyes of theirs are supposedly actually a protective layer for their light-sensitive eyes. They are small in stature, meaning they can fit entire spaces and sustain themselves or less. They smell strongly of either sulfur or ammonia, which are very prevalent smells in deep caves. They are the most prevalent sightings, by far suggesting a constant presence. Their crafts are often seen coming in and out of either the sea or mountainsides. I could be remembering it wrong. I could be remembering. I could be remembering it wrong, or I'm just a nut job who wants to feel important. I'm not making it up. This is all actually true. Like my comment, validate me. I'm so lonely, so very lonely. I've never felt the touch of a woman. I need more Mountain Dew.
Oh, it's the best thing I've ever read. And I've read The Godfather. But that, mwah, that's amazing. Oh, the replies. That's how I remember it too. Yes, 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 yes. I had to play it. I just had to play it. God damn. One of my favorites. Unfornicated is here, everybody. He's emerged from his cave of sleepy times. After an epic 9+ hour stream, and I may have contributed to keep him up for a couple of extra hours of that time because I'm a monster. Welcome, sir. Good to see you conscious again, back in the land of the living. I definitely won't be going for 9 hours because I don't want to. and I'm not a psychopath. So there is that. I've got instructions from Megan to check my DMs. Oh, yes, I like it. I'll need to run it past him, but I like it. That's fucking cool. That is cool. But yeah, we'll float it with the individual in question, Megan, and see what they think. But yeah, we could use that. And then we can change the colors or whatever. But yes, I like that design. Already sent it. You're a credit to the species. And I've never believed anything that Unfornicated said about you. It's not true. He always says you're wonderful and amazing, and I believe him wholeheartedly. Fornicator says, I added 2 hours to the time alone. I didn't even realize it. Yeah, and that was just random because I had nothing to do. And I was going to stream last night. I'd planned like, all right, well, once Dan signs off, I'll jump on. But I think after editing and everything, like you were exhausted. I think I was tired as well. So stream last night just didn't happen. But we're doing one now, which is cool. Cool Magoo. I'm just going to check in. Oh, I've picked up a follower over on Rumble. Look out. The growth is real. No new comment yet. Nothing back from, what's his face? Let me just, what was the name? Yashadel. Nothing new from Yashadel. And Joe Black has now followed over on Roomblay. Who cares? So the whole point of getting things up over on Rumble is that, unlike YouTube, the Simon Goldberg videos that I made over on Rumble, no claims on those. And I figure Rumble just doesn't give a shit. So yeah, the other stuff that I've mirrored and everything else is going to go up on that channel. I've just got to re-download the files and put them up again. So Toon's original video that kicked off all of my participation in it, that will go up there. There's the Who Killed Red Pill Day that survived about 48 hours on my channel before it got taken down via a copyright claim by YouTube. That'll be going up over there. Yeah, all going to be re-uploaded. Basically, all the content's going to go there, and probably the live streams as well. But they're a pain in the ass because I've got to download them. They're big files and then re-upload and blah, 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 blah. But just a backup more than anything. And on the off chance that anything I do or post or create here on YouTube can go over to Rumble and maybe turn the head of one or two flatties or conspiratorially minded people and just trigger a slightly different thought or a bit of doubt in their derptastic belief system. Yeah, why the hell not? It's low effort and the rewards for others could be massive. So yeah, as Signa says, yeah, probably way less people on bots to even bother. Yep, for sure. I mean, I've already covered everything I wanted to cover today. We're out of juice. We are out of juicy juice. This is funny. Remember, kids, slow or fast, Earth is still motionless and sits on a foundation. The reality of what that means cannot be escaped by anyone or anything. I've just got to remember to downvote his comments because they're dumb, and I'll click the thumbs up on my own. Why the hell not? Farm some engagement. Jaron supposedly going live any minute. Yeah, he's meant to go live like now-ish or 6 minutes ago. So he'll probably pop up at about 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. I got mad respect for that. Just do whatever you want. Totally fine. Who gives a toss? Okay. There we go. Right. What do you lot want to do? Let's see if I can figure out. Oh, this is going to be. I can't. I was thinking of firing up Discord and jumping on the voice chat. we're going to have to test that before I do it. I'm not going to be able to do it today. Reason being, I've got to run Discord on the same computer to get it into OBS because the delay from the other computer is ridiculous. Need new capture card. Also, obviously, need to check the audio and that's all going to behave. And need to make sure that the computer won't freak out if I'm using the same microphone for both. Which I suspect it will. So I might have to swap it to like the camera mic or something for Discord, which is going to sound like shit. Yeah, it's so tricky. And I talked about this with you yesterday, Dan, the whole audio routing thing between all these different systems. So you'd think, right, you just plug a microphone in, you're off to the races, no dramas. But no, it can't just be that simple. I mean, it could be that simple. Plug a microphone in, point OBS to that, done and dusted. But NVIDIA Broadcast is a really handy thing, especially in this room because it's very, very echoey. And you get a lot of background noise because of where I live and the nature of the house. So the noise cancellation and room echo removal through Broadcast is pretty damn good. So I kind of need that. The OBS filters and stuff just don't do the job for me at all. If you want proof of that, go back and watch anything on the Deadpool_2028 channel for Football Manager. Nope. But then also through Broadcast, you've got to, within Windows, adjust all the levels in there for Broadcast, the actual microphone source as well, and do all that. You've got to tweak all those levels in OBS. You've got to sort of tweak the settings in Broadcast itself. And then once you bring in things like Zoom or Google Meets or is it VidNinja, whatever it is, which is another like free solution for guest platforms. Megan knows what I'm talking about because that's how she visited the stream. All of those things, they need all of those bits as well. So do you use the virtual camera from OBS and overload your GPU because you're trying to render all the stream stuff at the same time? Or do you get a second microphone to run everything through the second PC and just produce that as a different screen with the overlays? I don't know. The solution for me, I need to upgrade the computer so I don't need to run two PCs anymore. Just make sure I've got a box that has all the grunt that I need to do all of the things, and a big hairy off GPU as well to handle the rendering with a shit ton more RAM. That's the plan, and it's probably going to happen either before or towards the end of August, and that's going to mean I probably need at least a week or so to get everything plugged into the new box, all set up, get everything reinstalled, and check how everything's working. Also, I'm not buying an off-the-shelf thing. I'll be selecting the components and having it constructed, and if I'm lucky, I can just rip the SSDs out of the current boxes and drop them into the new one, and then the plan will be the PC I'm currently streaming with, I'll still have that, and that will become my editing box and for grabbing clips and all that sort of stuff. But it'll just be an editing station because it's fine for that, but it won't have to do anything else. None of that matters to any of you, but now you have that information in your brains, so you're very, very welcome for that. No problem. CC finally put out a new video standing on a beach yelling at water and cameras, but you can't hear anything he's got to say. I've got plans to do something with that footage, maybe a bad lip reading, something along those lines. Not sure. Yes. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Wait, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
We have no idea either, CC. Because you're on the beach and we can't hear you. You need a different microphone. Hit me up. We can help you with some production quality. Again, I can't route the audio for you. It's a pain in the ass. But don't record at the beach with your phone microphone. It doesn't work. Think Simon Dan did a video on that one? Yeah, I'm sure he did. Need to watch more CC for the soundboard? Yeah, we all do. We all do. So on the hit list here in the Debunkatorium for the foreseeable future. CC said very clearly, us flat earthers can't prove anything. Yeah, that bit was clear. And he was right. 100% right. Kudos, CC. You nailed it. You can't prove anything. Other than to prove how wrong you actually are. The hit list. I have plans to cover dearth. I've spoken at it a bit when I popped into other people's stuff. I just find it fascinating that he thinks he can just change the claim of a decade or more, that the horizon always rises to eye level, and then just on a whim tweak it to the horizon appears to rise to eye level, and that we're all brainwashed to think that it rises to eye level, but it actually doesn't. It's like, no. You've got all the receipts on your own channel, you fucking moron. We can go back and get the clips of you saying the exact opposite, and we can pinpoint the date and the presentation when you've changed that. That's something I intend to do. And also to highlight how dodgy elements of his presentation are and how deliberately misleading and dishonest they have been. And it'll be along the lines of the video I made about a certain Englishman wanting to know what people said analyzing waveforms, in that I will sit here in real time, or real time when I'm recording, and you'll see everything I'm doing, and replicate exactly what he's doing with his dirt presentation on camera. I will allow myself to do a couple of practice runs first to make sure I can actually do it. I know I can. I just need to figure out the process exactly to make it work in film form. But I've got that in the pipeline. That's all going to be the one video. I'm not going to break it up too much. And then the other target, for a couple of different reasons, is one, Wits it, shits it, because he does shit the bed. That's what he shits. But a couple of things. One, I've been talking about doing a new episode of, I've been talking about NASA sending me an intelligence package containing the latest update on the Wits at the Platypus animated children's program. And I've been assured by Brenda in HR that will be happening soon. So that is in the pipeline. And then I hinted at it before, there's another thing that Witsit promised that hasn't eventuated. And I want to talk about that. So yeah, it is okay to lie for Jesus. Apparently he encourages it, human being. Kelly Badgety says it never matters what a flow said in the past, only what they said just now is important. Yeah, exactly right. For example, Nathan Oakley and all his derpologists over there on the Flat Earth debate, which is not a debate, it's just a Flat Earth monologue from Nathan Oakley, and anyone he decides can be unmuted until he starts talking again. Earth measures flat. That's all they've got. The Earth measures flat. That is it. I'm pretty sure Uncle Fester's book, when it comes out, will just be, it measures flat over and over again on every single page, because that's all they ever say. But there is video evidence with audio of Oakley saying repeatedly the globe demands a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and there isn't one, or words to that effect. But that doesn't matter anymore, because people went down there and actually saw it and disproved that claim that he definitely made and definitely double, triple, quadruple down on. But that doesn't matter, because now they just say it measures flat. Irrelevant to the discussion. So yeah. Kelly Badger dude, what's the over-under on how long it's going to take Murica to get kicked out of the observatory? It's not going to take long. I imagine they don't have a lot of appetite for his bullshit. And yeah, Oakley's entire argument is because it's jokely. Human Being says, I don't like Murica at all. Wish Globus didn't give him so much attention. He's such a weasel. Yeah, I mean, I'm mentioning him occasionally, but I won't be covering his videos or anything else. I'm I'm happy to talk about parts of it, but he's not on my hit list. And we talked about this before. My hit list generally, if you're over 5k subs or thereabouts, and if you're actively trying to profit off misinformation, and if you're just flat out lying, if you're a lying, scamming, grifting piece of crap, you're on my hit list. But Mikey's small time. He's small fry. Does he have potential to do damage? Yeah, but not as much as some other people. He is just a joke and comic relief for the most part, and that's not what I want to do. I far more enjoy making fun of Dearth and Witsit and the like. So, yeah. Is that Max is back? He was triggering ironwork. I mean, that's not hard. What were you doing for the other 30 minutes? Because that would have taken all of 10 seconds, Max. He's a very fragile little flower. He's very delicate. 5.5 hours of installing Windows 11. Holy shit, Older Baron. God damn. Is that people treat Mikey like he's a good guy or something? Yeah, he's absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we were having a conversation about him the other day. I think you were there. Yeah, I'd love to see him flipped. Bloody, I'd love to flip. But he's just not capable of engaging in good faith or in any meaningful kind of way to be able to get through. But if anybody wants to try, then the way to do it is by not being confrontational and not being argumentative. And you're probably going to get further just by asking questions and getting the answers, and then further probing without it being an interrogation or anything like that, or calling him stupid or dumb, which is really hard to do because he is. And dishonest and misguided. So yeah, I get it. But I'm not the good person to make that effort. I'm just not that interested. Oh, nice work, Max. Got him to say the famous. Wouldn't talk to me like that in person while he's scared to have me on stream. Yeah, yeah. How gross was Hakeem? Matthew Hakeem. The other night, I was watching the clip that was put up of, yeah, he went straight to matters now, as if that's anything at all to do with Max. Like, Max is accountable for some other piece of shit's actions. No. No. People in glass houses, Hakeem, and you are categorically a piece of shit. You want to dig up dirt on other people, like throw that dirt where it belongs. Don't get misguided. Kimmy's always gross. Yeah, he's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And another one, he's small time. So I'm going to stop talking about him because we won't get any traction here. I'm not going to platform that piece of shit. What else was I going to say? I don't know. Let's say whatever I want. It's my stream. Nice. Mikey seems to cry about how he's not getting donos that others get. I think he's grifting harder than others. I don't think he's grifting. I think it's just part of where he's at in terms of capacity. And I think there's a sense of entitlement that he's doing the thing, and he's doing the same thing other people are doing because he's on YouTube and he's live streaming, and I think he genuinely sees his activism and what he's doing as important, and makes him feel like he's contributing and making a difference. And I think there's a disconnect in his brain where he can't understand why that isn't resulting in a livable income, and why he's not super rich, and why he's not going viral, and why he's not having like massive amounts of success. And it's because everything he's saying is nonsense bullshit. Nobody cares because he's a crazy person with horrible fingernails running around town holding up signs saying space is a cartoon. It looks fucking insane. But I don't think he understands that. Main character syndrome. Exactly. Huge sense of entitlement. Arwen's exactly the same. Creepy Emporium is here, my fellow Australian. Greetings. Good to have you along. Yes. He genuinely thinks he's at the cutting edge of flat Earth research and deserves more recognition from others of his ilk. Yeah. The big one, of course. I've taken pictures of the firmament, he says. I've got photos. Is anyone else taking photos of the firmament? No, I've got the evidence. And yet, he can't seem to reproduce them. Why not? Why not? Out of everybody involved in the Flat Earth cult, how is Mikey Smith from Saskatchewan, Canada, self-confessed, with a learning disability, all sorts of issues, diabetes? Not that diabetes is a factor at all, but it is a thing for him. I'm not saying that's contributing to everything else. Maybe it is. It's poison in his brain, it's gangrene or whatever, but I don't know. How is that the only person ever in the history of the world to have photographed the firmament who's not been able to do it again, to my knowledge? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's got hundreds of thousands of pictures of the firmament. He's just got a few photos with a shit ton of artifacts on them because he doesn't know how to use his phone camera or binoculars properly. So, yeah, it kind of adds a big question mark over that. Human being. Could be wrong, but I've known someone like him, very manipulative and smarter than he acts. Everything's about how he can get money out of you. Maybe. I don't get that vibe. I don't, but nah. You could be right. Time will tell. But never shows them. Yeah, he has shown them, Tim. And welcome along, Tim Hunter. He has shown his pictures, but they're terrible. And very obviously not showing a firmament. Plus, when you look at them, like you can see some semblance of stars and then what he claims is the firmament. And the stars are very clearly outside of the firmament. They're supposed to be baked into it, is my understanding, but they're not. Probably biased. Yeah. And you know what? Full credit for even putting your hand up and saying, I'm probably biased. More than any fucking conspiratard can do. There's a lot of strength and value in being able to say, like, yeah, I probably got a bias. And I probably do too. I tend to, believe it or not, I tend to try and find the better parts of people and credit their better angels. But I mean, I've talked about it before. I don't see necessarily Mikey as the villain of the piece. I see Mikey more as the victim of the cult and cult leaders. He is someone who lacks the capacity to think critically correctly. And given his situation, he's a prime target for people like Dearth, like Whitsett, like Oakley, like Eric DeBay. That's their bread and butter. The people who will hear, do your own research and think, yeah, I absolutely will, and don't and can't, or can't do it in the right way. They bank on the people who will just seek to confirm their bias. Anybody else with a pair of binoculars and a camera phone takes a picture, looks at it on the screen, sees all the squiggly white lines everywhere and goes, fuck, that's a terrible shot. Mikey Smith sees the firmament. That's the difference. It'd be like me if every single photo I've ever taken is blurry as hell. I'm just like, clearly something's wrong with my eyes because that's not how I see it. But when I take a picture, it's very, very blurry. So that's proof of a distorted reality that we're all a part of. I mean, we could start that conspiracy tomorrow if we wanted to, just by using cameras incorrectly. And that's all Mikey Smith is doing. But again, I see him more as a victim in the piece than anything else. And the same with CC. He's over 5,000 subscribers. I'll talk about CC, not because he's a threat, not because he's doing real significant damage. I've got no doubt that a huge percentage of his subscriber base are us, just watching his stuff, because to us it is objectively funny. He's out there, he's proselytizing and everything else. He thinks he's making a difference, blah, 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 blah. But he is a victim of the cult. Clearly something's not right, and he's leaning on flat earth and conspiracies to fill some sort of void in his life, to get that sense of community and that sense of purpose. And it's a sad thing, but I think that's where he's at. Kelly says he got genuinely angry and upset when Astronomy Live showed him genuine film photographs of a star and it wasn't what he wanted to see. Yeah, because that's not how he's seen them. He needs the chromatic aberration. He needs the distortion. He needs it to be wrong and different and special, because that's what's garnered some attention. And he's had people validate him and what he's done and tell him that he is right and good for showing the truth. But we all know we can go out there, mess with camera settings to take a bad photo, and we can reproduce those results. I mean, Dearth is the worst for it in his Dirt presentation. This is what you think stars look like. Here's what they actually look like, and they're swirly little balls and they look like bacteria under a microscope. It's like, yeah, I can get that same effect if I take my telescope out and just don't focus it properly in really shitty conditions. Like, it's not that hard. I can absolutely do that. The problem is you've only got to tweak the focus ring a little bit, fixes it, and turns it back into a pinprick of light. Or in the case of Mars or Jupiter or Venus, to turn it back into what is very clearly a physical celestial object. Not that difficult. When he went live to show himself crying, it really reminded me of the person he knew. Yeah, I get that, but I mean, it's hard to understand what's going on in his head, but I think his despair at that point was genuine, because he honestly thought he'd go to the US and have all of this support and be cheered on. Like that was going to be his final experience where everybody's tuning in and riveted and nobody gave a shit. Yeah, as Fitz said, someone with diabetes, him having it is not a problem. Yep. His refusal to take any reasonable preventative action absolutely is. Yes, ignoring the advice of medical professionals because of conspiratorial beliefs and, oh, Big Pharma's out to get you and the doctors are all in on it and blah, 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 blah. There's no benefit to this. It's like part of you is rotting off, and the only thing you're not doing is what doctors and co have advised you to do. So, you know, it's not that hard to join the dots on that, but it is if you're Mikey Smith. More FOMO, less terror? Absolutely. Yeah, I agree, Callie. It's definitely a learning disability, and he's put that out there. He's been very upfront with that. Not necessarily in the most constructive ways at times, like on NC2 stream, but it's a known factor and should be taken into consideration. Human being, saying CC is a true believer. I'd be inclined to agree for sure. But again, victim. CC spouts all the debate stuff, all the dearth stuff, all of it, because he's bought in 100%. Blurry Picks is proof of rotation of 1,000 miles per hour. Ah, I like that one. I like that one. Yes. Yeah, and okay, yeah, I agree. I have never, CC, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, I haven't been back through all his videos, but yeah, has never in his videos asked for donations or super chats or super thanks or anything. He's got like zero expectation, and I'll give him mad props for that, because he could, absolutely could, and people would do it. I'd probably throw him a couple of bucks, to be honest, but he doesn't do it. I think for Mikey, him doing it is less nefarious and more that a capacity issue, that there is an expectation of it because he sees it happening for other people. Why not me? And as Unfornicated has said, main character syndrome. But I don't think it's in a super nasty, nefarious way. And again, I could be wrong, and admittedly my own predisposition and bias, but that's just my read on it. And absolutely open to discussing that and being shown the opposite. Not a problem. It's not a hill I'm willing to die on. But you know, you get those villains or those bad people, and sometimes you just like they're not smart enough for that to be deliberate. They're just not. Growing up in crime world, you see what people do for a few bucks just to avoid work. You make a flat earth physios would be a real hustle move to these people. Yeah. I haven't shown the Sean character yet, Megan. I don't think I showed the other one either. I'm saving them because I'll be part of another video. Oh, I will be doing a video about the Austin, Witzer and Jeranism debate. I will. I'm just trying to nail down how I'm going to tackle that. It's not going to be a review of the debate because Max has done one, MC Toon's done one, Craig's done one, everybody's done one, and they'll all do it better than me. But I have had some small discussion with someone named Jeranism about it and floated a couple of ideas, and he thought it was really funny. So I'm probably going to go that route. But again, I'm not going to spoil it. I have spoken about one of the ideas, which is take all the footage from the debate, cut out Witzer and Sean, I look like Peter Griffin, and just leave Jaren's bits in because they're the only bits that are worth watching and make sense. So I might do that cut. What else we got going on? Calabadger said, see, this is what I like about DP. For all their foibles and awfulness, you still treat flows as human beings. I mean, possibly to a fault. Like, when we talk about someone like Dearth or Witzer, for example, we all know there's some really gross shit out there about Witzer and his conduct and behavior towards his significant other and everything else. And I'm not going to go into detail about it here. It's been discussed elsewhere. I made the decision that those parts of it, I made one joke early on in a video and then it didn't sit right with me. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to go there. Whatever's happening for those people behind closed doors, none of my business. What they put out there publicly in terms of going into debate, their content, everything else. And I spoke about it with Dan yesterday. Dan's take has been, or Unfornicator's take has been, attack the ideas, not the people. And I'm of a similar vein, gross, to a point. But when you're doing what Witzer does, when you're doing what Earth does, where you're openly scamming people and grifting them and begging for money and asking or requiring money to take part in whatever they've got going on. Oakley as well, constantly pissing and moaning. Hey, I'm a videographer and I'm getting censored by YouTube and I have to sell microphones because I don't have an income and blah, 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 blah. Lick my balls. Fuck those guys and fuck what they do. But in terms of, no matter how gross they might be or horrible they are as people, I don't know because I don't interact with them. Meaning like their partners, their children, relatives, any of that. For me, I made the choice a while ago. That shit is off limits. And the Steve situation was a big fucking wake up call for me. In how I want to conduct myself. I have no problem at all calling Dave Weiss an absolute scamming, grifting, gross human being who I hope feels the full weight of the SEC or any other form of oversight, bureaucracy, jurisdiction, justice. Absolutely. Witzer is categorically a dishonest liar. Both of whom actively seek to profit through disinformation, not just through what they do on streams and what they say, but the products they promote and the way they generally conduct themselves. That shit for me, that's That's not okay. Mikey Smith looking for $20 to buy some donuts. I don't care. Get your donuts, get your Timbits, knock yourself out. Yes, I know what Tim Hortons is. And even getting a telescope, like, all right, fundraise for a telescope. Like Mikey Smith's not made of money. He's living on disability. He's not working. Do I think he should be asking for money to do that stuff? No. Like, I'm not asking you lot for cash to upgrade my computer. I want to upgrade my computer, so I will upgrade my computer. I work full time. I earn a good living. That's something I'm able to do for myself. That is not your job or your responsibility at all. So it's just not a thing, and spoken about it before. Not comfortable doing it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, the behind closed doors stuff, not where I want to go. And as I've said this before, I'll talk about it on other people's streams because I absolutely have opinions on it, informed judgments and everything else. I'm not going to be a liar or dishonest and pretend that I don't. I'm just not going to talk about them here on this channel because it's not what I want this channel to be. But, you know, I'm not afraid to share those opinions or anything else. I'm just not going to talk about them here. How did I transform into Oakley so convincingly? It's called acting. Definitely victims and victimizers in the flow community. Absolutely. And the ringleaders are the worst of the worst. At some point, even though, I mean, for the most part, in the whole community discussion, Eric Dubay's fucking irrelevant. He's not bringing anything new or revolutionary to the table. He's still trading off the same bullshit as ever. But he is a horrible anti-Semitic Nazi without question. Anyone who says otherwise is deluded. And his 200 bullshit proofs, his 200 proofs video is still doing damage today. And I heard it in a live stream that nobody's come out with a 200 glow proofs video to counter that. And I thought, A, we shouldn't have to because reality's awesome. But also B, I was like, challenge accepted. Should do that. Should absolutely do that. Do it in the same style. And I had plans to do it. I downloaded the 200 proofs video with the intent of using all of the same footage, doing a King Nico, just stealing Debay's video and turning it into a 200 proofs for Globe. But then I was like, all that information is out there, smacks of effort. Why bother? Everybody's covered the 200 proofs. And the floodie he said it hasn't happened is full of shit. Surprisingly. Who would have thought? Yes. Kwaibush. His forthcoming book. Oh. You know I'm tempted to buy that book, right? To actually pay money and get it. Or maybe an ebook if we can hack it and get it for nothing. But I'm very tempted to get that book just to laugh at it and tear it apart. It may happen. I'm very, very loath to do anything that puts money in his pocket. So there is that. But it's going to be an absolute fucking disaster. Foxworth got half a dozen honey crawlers this morning and they were delicious. God damn it. Now I want donuts. Oh, I'm going to get donuts this afternoon from somewhere. Jaron just started his stream. Hey! So probably about 10 minutes till it actually starts. Sounds about right. Dick's been waiting for Jaron, I'm sure. Fucking Dick Wayne. For those who may or may not be aware, and if you're not aware, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you here? Over on the Discord, over here, on the Discord. This is Discord. This is DP's Debunkatorium, right here on Discord. Link to that is down below here on YouTube in the About page, or go to the DP Debunks channel thing on YubTubs, and you can check it out. But this channel over here, let me just grab a link to it. Copy link. Go here. We'll drop that in the chat for everybody. A boom. Kablamo. Kabingo. This is Dick Wayne's Dick Main. And I just want to pimp it out because it's very, very important that everyone gets on board with this channel. This is the Dick Wayne's Dick Main channel, exclusive to DP's Debunkatorium. It is the place to hang shit on an absolute tool bag. This channel exists solely to call Dick Wayne, the regular in MC Toon's chat, and he's been popping up everywhere else lately, a disingenuous, dishonest, chicken shit, douchebag loser with no balls. But please, if you are going to take part in Dick Wayne's Dick Main channel, and I invite you all humbly, bro, to take part, all posts must include the phrase Dick Wayne is a disingenuous, dishonest, chicken shit, douchebag loser with no balls. And it has to be in bold and italics. So it stands out, that portion. The post can say whatever you want. You can just say like, here's what I did today and here's what I bought at the grocery store. Also, Dick Wayne is a disingenuous, dishonest, chicken shit, douchebag loser with no balls. But that part, the Dick Wayne is disingenuous, dishonest, chicken shit, douchebag loser with no balls, must be in bold and italics. And as Copium Emporium has said, if it's not and I spot it, you will get the fix me of shame applied, which is me going in and applying the FIXME emojis to that post. Or some variant of that to cover my ass. And refusal to fix will result in deletion. Got to be done. Has to be done. I'm not big on rules and regs, people, but that one I'm very firm on, because Dick Wayne's a piece of shit and he's total douche. And there's a lot in there and it's fun times. So yes, thank you for the reminder, Copium Emporium. I saw you mention it and had to be done. Absolutely. Can't stand him. Why, like, okay, granted, we all hang out in MC Toon's chats and a bunch of streams and we talk shit and whatever else. We all waste our time in there. Because ultimately, all this is a waste of time. But we do get a sense of community out of it. We all have a good time and a laugh. And it's fun. Why would you go and sit in one of MC Toon's like 5-6 hour streams and just talk shit the whole time in a room full of people who don't care and don't share your views or anything else? I mean, points for persistence, but the fact that time after time and after time, Toon is like, hey, shoot me an email, jump up, step up. You want to talk crap? Like, put your money where your mouth is. Don't have your fingers writing checks that your mouth and ass can't cash. And he will not step up. And at some point, like, that's why I'm determined to block him every time I see him where I don't have a wrench. At some point, if you're not actually going to step up and engage in the conversation and have the courage of convictions to confront that person, then they should be banned. And you should just take him out of the equation. And I know Toon's not big on that because he doesn't want an echo chamber, and Flatties losing their minds in his chat is objectively good content for this neck of the woods and this part of the YouTube and the internet. But like, when they're not doing that in good faith, when they're not interested in actually engaging in a good faith discussion, the value reduces. And people like Dick Wayne, after a while, they're just infuriating. But the day myself, and there are a few other people, I can't remember everyone who was involved, but we took the different tact in Toon's chat, and it was just like, we love Dick Wayne, and we were all supportive and on his side. Fuck me, he was confused that day. I just couldn't do it again because it left such a foul taste in my mouth. Hey, CK's here. Sorry, he snuck in while I was ranting. Professor Dave has done one, the 200 proofs. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, Peter Markley, that's just a lie. People have done direct debunks, 200 proofs, flash to say things. Yes, 100%. It caught me off guard. I was tired that day when I was like, has anyone actually done the 200? Yeah, so many people have. Greater Sapien took on the 200 proofs as well, which was really good. Greater Sapien's awesome. Contact your local library. That'll get me on a watch list for sure. Run out of toilet paper. I'm going back through the chat and I'm like, we're all talking about Oakley's, but yeah. Where are we at? Most of douchebag video rehashes many duplicate points and just adds to 200 count. Yes, 100,000%. And yes, CK, I did beat you today. I hope you had a good sleep and I hope you had fun at your gigs and stuff. Hope you're doing well. Where are we at? Committed himself to the AE map. What a dick. Yep. Anyone committed to the AE map is objectively a douche canoe. Yeah, I'm with you, Fitz. Spend way more time watching streams of people I agree with. Couldn't imagine devoting my life to streams with opposing views. I mean, I don't watch flatty content live generally because I don't care. And I prefer when I'm going to cover their stuff, when I've got to get clips and everything, to find a way to do the downloads of that content in a way that doesn't give them the views and I don't credit them in my description. I talk about where I've got it from and when these things happen in the video anyway. But maybe it's a dick move not to link to their channels and stuff while covering their stuff in video descriptions. But at the same time, we're fighting disinformation. It's just my thing. I don't want to direct people to it. We're talking about it here because it's stupid and funny, hopefully. But that's just my thing. And I know Unfornicate goes differently and he will link to the originals. And I don't have a problem with that. Totally cool. And that's what's got me back and forth on it. Was that maybe I should be doing that. Because Dan's a good dude and I don't want to be a wanker. Evil Producer 01 says, I'm convinced Dickless Wayne has a humiliation kink. Absolutely. He's getting off on it. The more people send messages addressing him that he can fire back with a snooty, disingenuous, dick-faced response to, like, the shorter his strokes get. 100%. Which is why my thing is just don't feed the troll. Yep, that's when you play Whack-a-Fliff. Absolutely. Hey, warm and happy. Best way to be, CK. Me too, because my lady's back in town. I get to see her tonight. Yay. Fuck them, they don't deserve views. Agreed. You don't link shit. I just show the clips or screenshots. Okay, because we did have a conversation where you're like, I'll link to the video in the description. But if you're not doing that now, then I win. Play it. Gotta be yourself. You're not the boss of me. If I want to be unfornicated, I will be. That's the end of it. Creaky won't link either. Yeah. I mean, Creaky... I'm pretty sure Creaky doesn't even link to like other debunkers. He just don't give a shit. That's fine. Creaky doing Creaky things. Fornicate says, nah, I thought about it. Fuck them. They don't deserve the views. If people want the original, it's not that hard. Yeah, that's kind of my take. I will absolutely link to other debunkers stuff. Like if I'm covering something Toon's done or Creaky or Cats or you or whoever, then yeah, definitely. I'm plugging fellow debunkers, but not the flatties. Because yeah, plug them. But that being said, I don't think we've ever had a flatty in chat here. Or anyone who is like hardcore conspiratorially minded. And I think the first time we got a good friend, Shifty Eye Shady here in the chat, he'd already flipped and was no longer a flatty, which is awesome and still makes me so happy that he's out of the cult. Amazing. Dickie has never ever popped in here, and if he had, he'd be blocked and banned. Because I'm not putting up with that shit in my own channel. You had the one that I booted off? Yeah. Yeah, because I've been an absolute dick. But yeah, I just haven't had one, and I think it's because nobody cares. And I'm not taken seriously. And I get why, because I don't take this shit seriously either. That's not true. I take doing this extremely seriously, but I do it in a way that's fun and enjoyable for me. But yeah, we haven't had one here. And if we do, I'm far more likely to go the MC Toon route of being potentially tolerant to a fault and just letting them go. But that is another area where I'll have a rule. If we have flatties in here, or conspirators or whoever, like, they'll be treated with respect and in good faith. But you get personal, you get nasty, you start saying horrible, intolerant shit. You start cutting and pasting from ChatGPT and not actually engaging in conversation. You'll get timed out a bunch of times, and then I'll ban your ass. But I do not want this channel to just be an echo chamber. Everybody's welcome here until or unless you fuck around and find out. And it won't be because of your ideas or the beliefs that you hold. It'll be how you express them and how you engage. Because I'm not going to have a flatty in here and just go full FTFE off the cuff. No way. And again, it's all hypothetical. It hasn't happened yet. But if it did, don't have a problem with it. Say your piece. But get involved with what we're doing and don't just push your agenda, or you can fuck off. If you miss a flex, let me help you out. You can't have gas pressure without an etherically displaced container. Feels better. Thank you. The fornicator says, everyone's allowed to voice their opinion. Only one rule, don't be an asshole. Yep. Hey, my mum bakes cakes. Posted a message on Vlad's show. He's such a nice person. No, he's not. He has gone the other route. He absolutely, very, very clearly wants an echo chamber. His last 2 weeks of content have been about, why are Globers coming in here? Why do they want? Why do they bother? Blah, blah, blah. It's because that's how conversation works. Dipshit. It's what you do. Like, intelligent people can hear other people's ideas and points of view and weigh them up objectively. It's how you have an informed opinion. But instead, Vlad, or Ironworks 92,866, whatever, he's far more interested in just running through the checklist of what he's been taught to say about flat earth that most people don't have answers for because they just don't give a shit. So he's one who is, I'm not sure of his sub counts or anything else. I can't imagine they're too high, but because of the way he's doing what he does, he's starting to ping on my radar a little bit. Because if you're actively creating an echo chamber for vulnerable people to get sucked deeper into that stuff, I have a problem with it. You don't want me to have a problem with it. I'm not very nice about it. If you have to ask what is an arsehole, congrats, you're an arsehole. Yes, exactly. I was going to say something else then. What was I going to say? Oh, we've got a clip from My Mum Bakes Cakes. All right, let's check that out. Hang on. We'll go to the viewy screen. And we can do this. Ah, wrong one. Everyone stop typing for a second. God damn it. You know what I did? Because I muted it before. Or is it better through this? Nope. That didn't even work. Go back a little bit more.
Right?
I mean, to be fair, my mum bakes cakes.
From brokercheck.com.
Broker check.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Hey, my mom bakes cakes. I take it that you're from the UK. Go eat a dick, motherfucker, and you could just keep it moving because don't nobody want your punk ass in here anyway. And if you're a woman, don't nobody want your ugly ass in here anyway, you fat bitch. Fuck on out of here.
Whoa. Vlad's like a bear, like a sleeping bear, real peaceful, but you poke on him, bro.
Yeah, right.
First of all, nobody poked him. My mum bakes cakes, who is not British, you racist piece of shit. They're from Australia, so you can go and eat a dick. You could have easily confirmed that and asked a question. I'm not actually that angry about that or taking it personally, but it is objectively true. So, fuck you. Secondly, why are you flying so off the handle? Eat a dick. Go fuck yourself. You motherfucker. You fat bitch. Like, thank you for illustrating why myself and others do what we do. That is why. That is why we come into your chats. That's why we monitor your content, to call you out for being horrible, disgusting human beings. I'm not saying you like that all the time. I'm not going to make that assumption. But when you do shit like that, it runs counter to everything that you pretend to stand for. It is hypocritical. It is gross. Pull your head in. You're a big, big man when you're responding to anonymous comments on the internet. Very proud of you. You're so brave. You're so strong. It's amazing. But remember, you're the one sitting on a live stream in a bathrobe with a globe projection map behind you and a globe behind you, LARPing as a flat earther and pretending that you have all the secret knowledge and that you're smarter than the entirety of the scientific establishment over thousands of years, with an old man who's a fucking convicted criminal, a psychopath sitting next to you, Roger Ledwell, who still thinks for some reason he's going to Antarctica with $30 to his fucking name. Like, you're not good people when you behave like that. And there's absolutely no reason for it. You could quite easily engage someone like My Mum Bakes Cakes in a productive, thoughtful conversation. But you refuse to do that because you can't be challenged, because you've got such a fragile, delicate little ego. Fucking sad. Really sad. And you go in the Ratsoid category. 1,000 subscribers. Look at him. Look how happy he is. Oh, oh, my Papa Flurf just insulted someone for absolutely no reason. And Sov, if you're putting a smile on Sov's face, that means you need to look in the mirror, because that guy is not a good person. And as for his shirt, not today, Satan. I'm sorry, Sov. Every day for Satan. Every day. I'll take Satan the light bulb over you every day of the week. Thanks, My Mum Bakes Cakes. Didn't know I needed to get that off my chest, but I have, and I feel better. Lovely stuff. Did I hack Vlad's channel to remove the sound? No, I got Max to do it for me. Vlad is a whiny little snowflake. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Anyone who speaks English but isn't American is British, obviously. Yes. Yes. Vlad is nasty to all women and everyone that doesn't agree with him. Yes. Because he's not a good person. Bathrobe? Yes. What else we got? The fact that Sum's there says a lot about Vlad's channel. Yeah, it also says a lot about Scum, that he's so desperate for relevance, so desperate for attention, because he's just a bitter, twisted, gross old man who can't handle people not talking about him for more than a couple of minutes. He's gone down to Vlad's stream because obviously Ratzoid's on the decline and he's not talking about Flat Earth or TFE enough for his liking anymore because he got a lot of attention off that. So now he can jump on with the grossness that is, I mean, look at the company he's keeping here. Matthew Keane, Sov, Ironwork, Roger Ledwell. Sov's there because he can say all his horrible, gross, disgusting shit. And he'll get applauded for it. Can't say that as much sitting in on Ratzoid streams anymore because Ratzoid was busy pretending to be a good Christian now. So I'm pointing and indicating with my mouse like you can see what's on the screen because I forgot I changed back to the chatting scene. So that's what's going up there. Vlad, show us on the doll where they hurt you, or did the women just laugh at your micro penis? Yeah. Speaking of micro penis, I mean, if he wants to learn about that,
I insult women because I have a tiny micro penis.
You should go hang out with Ratzoid because he knows all about it. Not seen Tupperware salesperson do any recent videos for months. Yeah, Hanvy's really fallen by the wayside, hadn't he? Hasn't he? I suspect a lot of people were asking some questions following his debate with J.J. Hanvey with the greatest failed attempt at a rage quit in history. Or maybe the Tupperware budget just dried up. He's out of domes. Or, I mean, we all know this hasn't happened, but maybe he just realized that everything he was trying to do with his domes and his models and everything else doesn't actually work and does not drive one iota with reality. But he has popped up on other streams and stuff and had the conversation. So I'm not saying for a second that he's not still a flat earther. I'm sure he is. But I'm not as engaged with all the shit as a lot of other people. I'm not on X or Twitter or Twix or whatever it is. I'm not even on Blue Sky anymore. I used Blue Sky for about a week and it was pleasant and it was lovely and it was just like Twitter used to be. And then I remembered like I never really used Twitter that much, so I don't miss it. So I'm not on there. I don't engage with any of this shit on Facebook. My Facebook is for me to stay in touch with like friends. That's it. And I haven't even promoted this channel via my Facebook really. Like Fraud Almighty and I think the Admiral Bird, I could be remembering it wrong, are the only things I put on Facebook because I was really proud of those and I thought they were funny. And some of my friends did too. Not a lot of people checked them out and that's fine. But I'm not trying to drag everybody into it. But yeah, other than what's coming out of YouTube, I'm not that invested in their stuff. Just not how I work. Who was the one that couldn't figure out how to leave the stream? That was Joe Hanvey. That was Joe Hanvey. Hanvey really didn't want to answer any questions about the EQ telescope mounts he had in the background of his video. Yeah, funny that. Funny that. Isn't it? Because an EQ mount only works on a globe unless celestial objects like stars, like the sun, like the moon, go under the earth. I love when McKeegan talks about taking Jaren through the EQ mount and clearly showing that to track the sun, it's got to point at the ground because that's where the sun would be. So how is it tracking it correctly all of the time the sun's visible? And then you just have to suddenly assume that when it's not visible, the EQ mount's full of crap, but you can go right back and pick it up again faultlessly when the sun's due to come up again. How weird. And the fact that, again, anybody who doubts Witzer is the lying, grifting piece of shit, Witzer had no interest whatsoever in getting involved in a conversation or having an EQ mount demonstrated to him by Dave McKeegan, who actually knows how to use one. And that in and of itself is very, very telling. Joe, bring me another bong handy. Yes. They still work, just point through the ground. Right. But why would the sun be under the ground if it's circling above us on a flat earth? Why would it go underneath? Don't understand. Timothy P. Southwick, never seen y'all say anything quite race in live stream, chat, or in comments to videos, nor at Flat Earth 24/7 Discord Live, where y'all could present any actual physical evidence of y'all's claims and ran out of characters, beliefs. Any of y'all have to do is actually provide actual figurative evidence of any of y'all's claimed and believed globe claims and belief. I mean, okay. First of all, QE is gross. I just got done explaining that I'm not that engaged outside of YouTube with the community. So there's that. I don't respond to their videos or comments because I'm not going to add to their engagement. And there's no point because everything just gets nuh-uh. And it's the same with presenting evidence in any of those servers. It just gets nuh-uh. Nice cartoon, bro. None of that is real. It's so dumb. Every single time. But if we're going to talk about some evidence, try this one. I'm just curious, Timothy P. Southwick. I'd like to show you something and get your opinion on it. I'm not putting all the pressure on you to have all the answers. And that's not me saying I don't think you have any. This is just me saying there's no pressure here, but I would love to get your input on what this could be. Or some sort of explanation for this. So if you're wanting evidence, let me just find it. Where is it hiding? Sorry, my folder's very disorganized. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. God damn it. Where have I put it? I didn't delete it. Why would I delete it? No. Am I just not seeing it? Bear with me. Sorry, Timmy. Just give me a second. Just bear with me. I appreciate your patience. Feeling flirty. I must have deleted it from this folder. Why would I do that? I never delete anything from this folder. I've got the compressed version. Maybe that'll play. All right, let me try this one. Is that going to work? Oh, Tori Hanzo has just dropped 10 Debunkerships to the community. What an absolute hero. And they have gone to the following people because that's a thing we do. Ivan Petrov, Jeffrey Bob, Peter Collins, Bill Cos, Gary Donnelly, Specs, Peter Wilt, Mr. Gustafsson, Suki Batswent, and Tim Jones 68. Beautiful stuff. Thank you, Tori Hanzo, for sharing the love with everybody here in the Debunkatorium. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate it, and thanks for being here. for listening. So I want to show you this video. I'm going to shut up. So I went down to the beach with my telescope, which isn't a digital telescope. It's not linked to any hardware at all. I've got a smartphone mount, so I just plug my camera into the smartphone mount. And when I say plug in, I put it on it. There's no plugs or anything linking it to it. And recorded through the eyepiece of the telescope. And I want you to have a look at this, because a common claim from the flat Earth side is that we use refraction or refractive effects to justify all sorts of crazy crap, okay? And that it's BS, that it doesn't exist, okay? And all of that is partly to do with the obstruction of the horizon, that the horizon isn't a physical thing. This is the claim of flat Earth. The horizon is not a physical point. Nothing disappears beyond the curve or past the horizon, that things just get further away and they get smaller in angular size. That's what the sun does, that it shrinks, okay? Or that ships and things like that do exactly the same thing. So everyone can just have a look at this, assuming it works. Hopefully it does. Yeah, here we go. I'll turn the audio down a little bit, because this is just me playing some shitty guitar. Again, May 18th, 11:40 a.m. Henley Beach. You can check out the deets yourself. Granted, I made this video as a piss take, but there's a ship that appears to be hovering above the water. 4-inch Newtonian telescope, which is a reflector smartphone mount. This has been flipped or rotated 180 degrees because the image is reversed and inverted via a telescope. But there's a ship that's obstructed at the bottom. You can't see all of it. And then, as you can see here, Timothy, the ship behind it is not touching the water. Now, obviously, it's a little bit mirage-y. Okay, but why is that ship hovering above the water if refractive effects aren't a thing, and if it's not actually there on the horizon, where is it? Refraction appears to be a thing, is my conclusion. But again, this ship that's cruising on past, okay, you can see the water in front of it. So that's obstructed at the bottom. You can't see all of that boat. But the one behind it, just have a look at this one. This is my question to you, Timothy. What the f is going on there? There is a clear gap between the bottom, or what appears to be the visible lower edge of that ship, and the water. So I just want you to ponder that one. This is a video on the channel. You're welcome to leave a comment and engage in some conversation there, or do it here in the chat. But if refractive effects and mirages and that sort of thing are bullshit and just a spurious globe claim to justify all sorts of stuff, explain that. But also, the onus, Timothy P. Southwick, is not on the globe side to provide evidence, even though we absolutely can. I can only think of one debunker who showed up to a debate without having physical evidence or measurements or images or video ready to go, which was Sean Hawkins in a disaster debate against King Nico, which is a clusterfuck anyway. But other than that, the globe side comes with evidence, with data, with information. And almost without exception, and there have been some attempts, but almost without exception, flat earthers engaging in debate or conversation aren't able to do the same. They resort to semantics. They resort to arguing about 100 different kinds of fallacies and playing word games, but very little evidence. In fact, the only flat earthers I can think of in recent times who have attempted to provide evidence, Alan from Space Audits and Dr. Heffron with their joke of a celestial theodolite that doesn't work and absolutely uses the globe. And the numbers are very clearly manipulated, as demonstrated by Jesse and Ruhif over on MC Tunes channel. Celestial theodolite is not the smoking gun or silver bullet Flat Earth thinks it is. And Mikey Smith showing his vastly misinterpreted pictures of the so-called firmament. That's about as close to evidence as you lot get. Because every picture you show where you're like, ha, no curve, this proves flat Earth. Black Swan, for example. Ever notice how shaky and wobbly that second oil rig is? Refracted to hell, miraged to hell. No different from what you're looking at here. So if you're going to potentially say to us that the Black Swan proves there's no curve and is evidence for flat Earth, then a flying container ship, okay, you need to find a way for that to be supporting flat Earth as well. Are you claiming the horizon is physical? I'm absolutely claiming the horizon is a physical place because of curvature. I do know what moisture and heat does. You're looking at it on screen. But why is that ship floating in the air? And where is it? Because you just saw another ship pass in front of it, which is the point of this video. Physical evidence of actual physical globe curvature. Here you go. This is my evidence. That ship, which is further than the edge of that water, okay, it's behind the edge of that water. It moves across. There is another ship that this ship is obstructing because it appears behind it. So this ship, the one that's just appearing now, is further away than the ship you're looking at in the foreground, which is obstructed by the horizon. Why is that ship flying? And where is the rest of it? And if you look really closely at that image, and you can zoom in and blow it up, elements of what you're seeing there with this second ship seem to be repeated, like a reflection. But that ship appears to be flying in the air, but it's further away than the one that's in the foreground. Why is that happening? So then if it's physical, it's physically curving downwards more and more the further the distance traveled. Is that correct? Look at the ship. It has to be further away than the ship in the foreground. We're not going to change the subject. You're not going to deflect and play semantics with me, sir. Where is that ship and why is it flying in the air? Is it further away than the ship there? And why is it higher? Because if it was on a flat Earth, it should be at the same level as the ship that just passed in front of it. Timothy, you know I'm a glober. The Earth curves. The horizon is a physical point. The ship in the foreground here is obstructed by it. Why isn't the ship behind it obstructed in the same way? All I've got from you is heat and moisture. I'm looking for an explanation on a flat Earth of why that ship is flying in the air, even though it is objectively and categorically further away than the ship in the foreground. Why is it higher? Because again, if you look at these images, as this one's going past, you can see part of the bridge of the ship. To the left of frame, the ship behind it, you can see the top of it. It becomes a bit clearer here as it moves past. Part of that element doesn't move. There it is. There. On top of the bridge. A little crow's nesty thing. It's not a crow's nest, but you get the idea. Why is it flying in the air? And why is part of that ship higher than the ship in the foreground, even though it's further away? It has to be further away because it's been obstructed by another ship passing in front of it. But it's flying in the air. No, we're giving Timothy time to type. It takes a minute. This video, by the way, over on my channel. Let me just double check for you all. Just need to go to my dashboard. So this one went live on the 10th of June. Yes, Timothy, the Earth is curved. That is our position. It doesn't curve more and more over distance. It curves at a constant rate. The Earth isn't a perfect sphere, but the rate of curve is consistent. The curve doesn't get more pronounced the further you travel. In fact, as you travel over a certain distance, the rate of curve doesn't change. It's not an apparent horizon. What you're looking at on your screen shows you the bottom of this ship is obstructed. The ship behind it is floating in the air. It's not. There's a hint, okay? That ship is not actually flying. Yes, I answered you. I'm waiting for you to engage in the conversation as promised. Again, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm not assuming you are the expert on flat Earth. Okay? No expectation of that. It wouldn't be a reasonable expectation for you to be the ultimate authority on all things flat Earth. I just wanted to bring my camera up so we can all have a chat here. Hi. There we go. Here I am. Still here. That's all that was needed. Not all that's needed because we're talking about this video, Timothy. And if you're not going to talk about this video or these images that I'm showing you, and I'll play it again from the start. Here we go. This is what we're discussing. So we'll pause here so you can get the dates. If you need to investigate or something else, and you don't have to, it's fine. But this was May 18th, 11:40 a.m., Henley Beach, South Australia. That's in the Southern Hemisphere, by the way. I live in the South. So we're going to ignore the fact that when I look at the moon, okay, it's the complete opposite orientation to what it is in the north. And then when I watch the sun set this afternoon, it will move from right to left, not left to right. We're going to ignore that, and we're just talking about this video. It could be the same dude, Dan. Okay, but we're talking about this video, Timmy. Heat, distance, and moisture. Then you can look into everything else. No, you can look at it because I was there and saw it through a telescope. So you can look up the location and the time and check the weather conditions. But I'll give you a hint. It's winter here, and it wasn't a particularly hot day. It's winter, so it wasn't hot at all. We're talking below 20 degrees Celsius, I'm pretty sure. So your heat claim has a bit of a problem there. But again, that ship, this one here in the foreground that you can see, is obstructed by the horizon from the bottom up. And just coming into frame now is the back of the ship. This one's floating in the air, but it's further away. That ship, why is that a thing? Boom. And I'll tell you something else, Timmy. I'll give you some stuff for free here because you're not engaging in good faith and you're not that far away from getting timed out here because, yeah, I get the sense you just want to go through your talking points. Heat included water versus air temperature, turbulence is a thing. Yeah, okay. But here's your problem. If, and I've done this, if at the same time I'd gotten in a car and driven up to the Adelaide Hills to somewhere like Crafers, and you can Google that, which is at a much higher elevation. It's about an hour away, hour and a half maybe, if traffic's bad from where I live, okay? I can go up to that height and it looks out over the water, more distant but at a higher elevation, and you can clearly see that those ships are no longer obstructed. They're just on the water, not flying in the air. I didn't do it on that day, but I know it's a thing because I've seen it before. The horizon is a physical thing based on a whole number of factors like observer height. But it's not simply a matter of perspective. And it's certainly not just a matter of water and air temperature and heat or density. That ship is not flying in the air. That ship that you see there is actually obstructed by the horizon. It is behind the curve, and the heat and the air temperature and the moisture and everything you're claiming that backs up flat Earth are the only reason why that ship is visible. Because if the Earth were flat and if water always finds its level, that boat would not be flying in the air. It would be as visible as the one that's in the foreground. And that is your problem. That's the issue. If Earth is flat, that shouldn't happen. Yeah, look at the base of the ship. See the movement of waves, blah, 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 blah. So there we go. But I have enjoyed this, Timmy, because again, this video went up on the 10th of June and no one's really engaged with it. Yeah, temp variation between water and air will be more apparent at sea level. Definitely. Still debunks flat Earth. Totally. I love this. I'm so proud of myself for getting this footage. It's not digitally manipulated. It's not reprocessed. I haven't raised the ship up. I'm more than happy to send the original footage to anybody. The only thing that I did was rotate it in DaVinci Resolve and add the captions. That is it. And I play some shitty guitar and put that over the top as a soundtrack. But the original footage is inverted because that's how reflector telescopes work. I don't have a corrective lens for it. You just have to use your brain power and a bit of 3D spatial awareness when you're looking through something like my telescope to figure out where everything is and reverse it when you're trying to observe objects and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. But anyway, Timmy, that video is available on the channel for your viewing pleasure. You are more than welcome to share it with all your flat Earth friends who might be able to help you come up with a decent explanation for that one. There is a link to it directly. If you need it, you can check that out at any time. It's there. It's free. You don't have to pay to watch that. Totally free. I don't ask anybody to pay $3 just to access my content, and you certainly don't have to pay $11 for an annual subscription. The only videos that sit behind the membership paywall here on my channel is a 3-hour stream that I didn't show up for, where absolutely nothing happened other than the chat had a great time making fun of me. And a video where I felt a bit sick and just jumped on to do a quick live stream. That's it. Far as I know. But team, I do appreciate you popping by. I appreciate you engaging in the conversation. I haven't heard anything comprehensive. Your lack of detail and depth is a bit of a worry. But you're welcome here anytime. But I'm also not going to derail the remainder of the stream to engage with this. I've given you some physical evidence, some observable evidence that exists. And I'm open to discussion and conversation. I'm open to evidence provided that support your claims about why that's happening. And you can email me at oldmatedp@gmail.com if you want to provide said evidence. But it will get run through AI detection software. So if you're just going to pull stuff out of ChatGPT and throw it at me, I'm going to know, and I will disregard it accordingly. Just be aware. So there we go. We had some fun with Timmy. Thanks, Timmy. Good times. I love that footage of a floaty ship or a flying ship. Mark W already has a W. All he's missing now is the wrench. Yep. He sure is missing a wrench. Can you time out the idiot now? Is he saying anything? I've got live chat on. Oh, there we go. I've seen all kinds of things when it comes to optical effects and the conditions required to create and cause such effects. That should, because it actually optically happens. I would refer to many other... Dude, you don't have to use all the words. You can be a little bit more concise. I've seen lots of optical effects and craziness too. The difference is that one has another ship passing in front of it. You're saying the Earth is flat. Optical effects aside, if Earth is flat, why isn't it happening to both of the ships? Why is it only happening to the one that's further away? Yeah. Don't repeat the curving downwards more and more, because that's not how it works. And you know it. No worries, Timmy. Good to have you here. You are welcome here in the Debunkatorium, sir, anytime, until or unless, as discussed, things come across as disingenuous or overly repetitious. Basically, don't be Dick Wayne. As long as you're not Dick Wayne, we're all good. If you're Dick Wayne, this is Dick Wayne free zone. And thanks for letting me show off that video again too, because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. I do love you, Mark. Do you know why you don't want a wrench? Do you know why you don't want a wrench? Because if Dick Wayne... No, if it's physically curving, it's curving continuously. Yes, Timothy, but it's curving at the same rate. The curve doesn't become more pronounced over distance. Okay, so if I see something obstructed by the horizon from where I'm sitting right now, as I move towards it, the rate of curvature doesn't increase with distance. The rate of curvature is exactly the same. So something that's more distant than the thing I can see that's obstructed by the horizon, I can't see it if it's further away, because that rate of curvature continues, but it's obstructed by more stuff. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what you appear to be saying with the rate of curvature increases over distance is that near me, it curves this much, but then the curve gets more and more and more and more and more and dips at a sharper angle. No. It's a curve on a gigantic scale and a gigantic radius. Not everybody loves it, but Jaren's example of the 600 plus feet and Home Depots, you build it flat, you build it flat from where you are around you, out to the horizon. Everything's basically flat. But the scale of Earth means it's not easy to see. You've got to go up. Is Dick Wayne over in Jaren's chat? Was or is in the... yuck. What's Jaren doing today? Let's have a look. I just want to have a quick look. Genism? Who the fuck is Genism? I missed a letter. Jaredism. Saturday Unplugged. The sun and moon. Rise and set, tell the truth. Oh, I want to check this out. So, I'm going to pull the plug. Pull the pug? No. We're not into bestiality around these parts. That's not a thing. Don't pull your pugs, people. It's not cool. Knock it off. Enough of that. Enough of that. What I'm going to do... Ah, fuck. No. There we go. I may have clicked on the wrong thing. Just there is what may have happened. I want that, and then I want... Shit, where is it? Oh my goodness. You know what? I really got to pee. So I am going to play Feeling Flurfy because I definitely do after talking to Timmy for a minute. And then when we come back, we're going to wrap up. So I know it's weird to take a vote, but yes, I want to touch on that too, Copium Emporium. So we'll feel Flurfy for a minute and then we'll come back and wrap up. But I've really got to pee. Oh my God.
I woke up feeling fine, had my coffee and toast, checked the flat earth debate, thought I'd roast me a ghost. But 5 minutes in, man, my brain took a dive, started doubting gravity, am I even alive? Oh Lord, I'm feeling flirty, logic slipping away. Every fact that I once knew just won't seem to stay. I know the earth is round, but my head's full of doubt. Flat earth's like a virus trying to take me out. They said water finds its level. I said, yeah, but a sphere. Then I questioned my own words. What am I doing here? NASA lies, they keep screaming. It's a worldwide hoax. Now I'm Googling moon landings. Try those even real, folks? Oh Lord, I'm feeling flirty. Need to reset my brain before I start saying planes don't dip and denying rain. I know the earth is round, but my logic's on trial. Been trapped in this live stream for far too long a while. Now my IQ's dropping, my senses are numb. Can't tell if I'm breathing or just playing dumb. I need some science, a rescue call, before I start screaming. The globe is a ball. I shut down the stream, took a deep, deep breath, rewatched some Einstein to escape from this mess. But late at night, man, I swear it's a curse. I still hear Black Swan, and it's making me worse. Oh Lord, I'm feeling flirty, need a break from this ride. Flat Earth's a sickness, and it's spreading worldwide. I know the earth is round, I swear that it's true. But debate these fools too long, and you'll start doubting it too. Oh, I need a drink. Somebody please send me a peer-reviewed paper. I'm slipping, man. I'm feeling flirty.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, folks. That was semi urgent. So to wrap up, a couple of things that we need to deal with, a little bit of housekeeping, and some of it quite urgent. I will have you know. So if we hop back over to the Discord, and I will provide a link for you all right fucking now. If you're not on the Discord, what the actual hell, people? Sort that out. That should get you where you need to go. I believe it does. Yes. And let's go have a goosey. The Zoo Crew logo derp voting, everybody, is open, but it's closing like now-ish. Okay, so if you have not voted, you are going to miss your opportunity to select the logo for you, the Zoo Crew. Your own logo. This is going to go on merch. It's going to go on books. It's going to go on babies' foreheads. It's going to go into tattoos, all sorts of shit. And you don't want to not have your voice heard. That being said, I am yet to vote, and I'm thinking I'm going to vote right now in front of all of you, and you know where I'm at, but you have, it says right here, 2 hours left. That is it. And it's probably less than that. Let's make it bigger. Boom. Here's all the messages I haven't responded to, as you can see. Right. So reminders. These are your options for logos. I don't know where anything at because I haven't voted, so I can't see the results of the voting. So this is going to be my first peek at it. But there's these from Tiles. That one. There's this one. There's this one from Steel City J-Dubs, which is sweet as. There's this one from Unfornicated. There's this one from Michaela, which I really, really like, just so you know. That one from Emma that she's been telling everybody not to vote for. So, of course, everybody's voting. Hi, Emma, by the way. I have seen you in there, and I love your guts. I hope you're good. I just got distracted by dealing with our first ever flatty here in the Debunkatorium. That should really have a round of applause because that was fun. Thanks again, Timmy. This one from Foxworth Kerman with half a rhino and kangaroo with an extra arm and a very tonguey giraffe. The tittyless bunny for Monkey Cat Pat Pat, drunken giraffes and tinfoil hats. Joe Black's logo, and which is this one that you're seeing. I did this version of it to clean it up a little bit because the other ones were pixelated, which is not a judgment on Joe Black's design efforts in any way, shape or form. You can go to the existing threads to see the originals, but if Joe Black's design was to get up, and it's one of my favorites, we'll leave it up to Joe which version of his design, because there are a few different iterations of it he'd rather have. And then myself and Michael, all of us can work together just to come up with a final version of it for the merch and everything else, because you've got to have it in certain resolutions and stuff anyway, and just upscaling the image won't really do the job. So I just wanted to put that out there and publicly apologize to Joe Black for like redoing it without A, checking with you first, because I should have, and that was a dick move, and B, I know we've discussed it and everything offline through Discord DMs, but if there's any sense that my sort of reworking of it like misrepresents the intent of your design or anything like that, then apologize for that, because it was not the intent at all. It was just to clean it up a bit, and in my mind, give it the best possible opportunity to get up and win, because as I said, it's one of my favorites. But absolutely no disrespect or ill intent intended. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. This one from Copium Emporium with a gorilla, an owl, and a trash panda, which is awesome. Little bits of everybody's logo in that too. So same sort of vibe as Joe's, very cool. And then this one from Megan, which is just utter madness and glorious. Is that. So they are all the options, and honestly, I don't know which one to vote for. I genuinely don't. How many are you here? Do you want to decide for me? Do you want me to put up a poll? Because I don't know. Still City, I'm going with yours because I fucking love this. I love all of them. I'm not going to lie. I know Emma doesn't want anyone to vote for hers. See, but I love the little demon guy with the guitar as well. It's fucking awesome. And this one's great with the half a hippo. It's got zebra stripes for no reason. And in my head, I'm looking ahead to, like, if you just want merch or anything else, like, you'd have to go out wearing this thing and have it on, like, drinking glasses or sanitary products, shampoo bottles, all of it. Joe's logo. Joe Black. It's there. Better be there. Yeah. Yeah. Totally there. I just went over this, Emma. In discussing with Joe, so I don't want to tell tales out of school in case I misremember it. But the idea was floated of removing it altogether, which I didn't want to do because people had already voted. Oh, that's all right if you had to pee. I had to do the same thing, so you totally get it. I definitely didn't want to remove it altogether and just say, well, we're taking Joe's out of it because that's not fucking cool. People had already voted on that. And again, I haven't looked at the total, so I don't know how many or anything else. And then we had back and forth with Joe, and I sent a message a couple of weeks ago, or last week, week before. Can't remember. It was not long after because Still City had reached out and said, yeah, I might be remembering it wrong. Exactly. Still City had reached out and said, hey, that's not Joe's logo. So I had some back and forth with Still City. I reached out to Joe and was just like, here's why I did what I did. I certainly didn't want to get you offside. What do you want me to do? Or what do you want us to do? Because it wasn't just me, obviously, Dan and Mike and everything else. And is Joe still here? I don't think Joe's here. Because I was going to say, I'll just show you the fucking messages. Oh, spoilers. Oh, well. It's out of the bag. All right. So here's what I said. Because I just put this out on Front Street. Fuck it. I got nothing to hide. And I'll read it out. You can all read along. And ignore any personal information. Hopefully I'm not doxing anybody by doing this. I don't know what I'm doing with Discord. So hopefully this is safe. Greetings, sir. Just wanted to hit you up. Thought you were in Mike's stream on Sunday when we did the voting thing and I slapped everything together. But in case you weren't, wanted to reach out. So while we were going through on Mike's stream as part of his marathon, while I was assembling all the nominated pictures, I was working on the redesigned version. So I've said, so in the nomination stream we did 1,000 years ago, myself, Mike and Dan all dug the 3 logo design you did, one of my faves for sure. They were pretty pixelated, but the design was cool as fuck. I don't remember if we discussed it on stream or if it was afterwards on a call the 3 of us had, meaning myself, Dan and Mike. But the consensus was the colors inside the Zukri text made it too hard to read because it did get lost, but the white text popped really well, and that was the one we all dug. So on Sunday, I took the liberty of reworking it a little again during that stream. I had the original versions of all the elements in it as best I could. I wanted to make sure yours didn't get overlooked because it was a bit rougher. However, I absolutely should have checked with you first if that was cool, and I apologize that I didn't. That was a dick move. I wanted to get it done and up ASAP since we'd finally done the voting announcement, but that's no excuse. It was your design, your work, and you absolutely should have had the final say. So again, I apologize if you feel that I went over the line or stepped on your toes at all. I also hope you don't see it as a criticism of you or your design. Certainly wasn't the intent, but understandable if that's the case. I do want to say though that to me, it's one of the best submissions by far, met the brief brilliantly and didn't rely on AI, etc. It's awesome. So what I will do, Emma, is let me just get my screen snippy smooth here. Because I'll put all of these alongside. Just copy that, save it in this folder. I don't want it in stream assets, just put it in the downloads folder. There we go, save, sweet. But, so these are screenshots I took of Joe's. So that's basically or that is Joe's version. It's a little bit more pixelated here in this example because it was a screenshot. That was one of the other ones that had the colors inside the Zoo Crew. Here's another one, DP colors inside Zoo Crew, the unfornicated dot and the bottle of magnifying glass. We had a couple more over here. And again, these were a bunch. So these were all happening back in April, a lot of iterations. We had this one, which is on the 15th, so that was after some of the others. And that was a redesign one just for comparison. So again, I tried to get it as close as possible to this one. So it was that. And then that was my rework. So they're not the same. There are differences. I couldn't absolutely nail it. But also that one that's up was never ever intended to be the final design. It would go back to Joe. Anyway, with all of that being said, if you'd rather one of the originals is used in place of the reworked one, please let me know. I'll give Mike and Dan the heads up and we can swap it out, and I'll let everyone know I fucked up. While I might have wanted to pretty it up a bit and help give you the best chance of being selected possible, it's not cool at all if you feel like it's a misrepresentation or misappropriation of your design. You've been a big supporter of all three of us. You took the time to create something unique and cool, and it isn't fair if my tweaks or our pick has left a bad taste in your mouth. So if you can let me know if you'd like the image in the voting thread swapped out or which one you prefer to be used, that would be awesome, and I'll make it happen. Thanks heaps, sir, for this and all your support. You rock. And then Joe's responded. Joe, I'm going to read out your message. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here. I'm just trying to be transparent. So Joe's come back. So when did I send that? That was on the 24th. So it was the next day. Joe came back. I'm not sure how to respond to this. First of all, thank you for the apology. I think it's too late to start changing things now, as a majority of people have already voted, and it would be unfair on everyone. And then he's elaborated for me, which I do appreciate. The point of my design was that it wasn't any of the three of your logos, not the same color red as Dan's logo, not the same bottle or magnifying glass as Mike's, and having your color splash inside the letters, yet still being recognizable as the three logos combined to differentiate between the Jet Vengers and the Zoo Crew. Plus, I want to run it in the mix that wasn't AI generated. And yep, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I loved it, because it was manual as fuck. I don't think you can edit the vote to take my name out, so just leave it. And I would gently ask the one or two people to change their vote. So that's why it's there. I did make an additional offer. I said, I'm really sorry, sir, this sucks. How about this? I can replace it with your design. Let me know which one it should be. So I put it back to Joe. Like the redesign one's there. I can swap those images out in the thread that's there. I'll put up a post explaining that I fucked it up. And it should have been the correct version, inviting folks to change their vote if they'd like to. Kind of their call, more than anything. There's still almost 2 weeks to go, which it was at this point. This is on the 25th again. I don't think it'll totally ruin voting, but for me, and I've discussed with Mike and Dan, the most important thing is that we're not misrepresenting your design or intent. Thank you for clarifying where you were coming from with it. Makes perfect sense and makes me dig it more. None of us want to take your design out of the running because we all genuinely like it. But if you'd rather we take it out of consideration, happy to respect that too. So Joe Black's take was, just leave it. I made a further offer. Joe, you obviously didn't feel the need to come back and elaborate further or make any additional changes. I'm assuming he's reached out to the people he had voted to request them to change their vote. But yeah, so that's the entirety of the story. There was a conversation between me and Dan with a little bit of Mike. I'm not sure there was any input from Mike with it actually, where I shared those messages and let them know what was happening, so they all knew what was going on. So yeah, that was a whole thing. Just wanted to share that. No shenanigans. No one's being a dick. No one's being an asshole. No one's trying to fuck Joe Black over under in any way, shape or form. Did I need to do that? Probably not, but I've done it now. And Joe, I want to thank you again for your design. It is awesome. Yeah. Still don't know. All right, we're going to do a poll. Going to do a quick poll. There you go. 3 options. Do I vote or not vote? I don't have to vote. And I'm leaning towards just not voting. Because I legit can't decide. Older Baron's holding his poll. Mark's holding his poll. But look how awesome they are. That would look killer on a black t-shirt. That'd be fucking awesome. That would look sick on a white t-shirt. That would look sick on anything ever. This would also look great, especially the 2 faces of Monkey Cat Pat. That's just sick. You can go on anything. This is fantastic. This is just weird and very, very Zoo Crew. Same with this, because you can remove the background color and again, do it with anything. Yeah, so do it. Same deal with this on a hoodie, whatever. Again, hoodie doesn't have to be the white background. Very, very flexible. This can go anywhere. May lead to a lawsuit. Emma has asked if you voted for Emma. 108 minutes left. She's asking if you could please change your vote. That's from the creator. It is a fucking cool logo though, Emma. Just so you know. It really is. It's 3 p.m. here. I'm going to go to 5. We'll let the poll go for another couple of minutes. Poll. And then we'll decide. No one's saying no. A few people are giggling. At the poll. I'm used to having my poll giggled at. We've got 32 votes in total, by the way. $32 votes. 107 minutes remaining. Unfornicated voted yes, just call me a douche. I mean, you call me a douche without polls anyway, all the time, which is totally fine. What happens if DB votes for Emma? No. I am going to respect Emma's wishes. Touching the poll after peeing is what DP said. Well, you kind of got to touch it during peeing unless you've got some major control-y type things happening. Sorry, I just hit the boom arm on the microphone. and it goes boom. That's why it's called a boom thing. Yeah, you can openly vote for that. And it gets a very special Emma thank you. And that's the main reason I won't vote. Probably the only reason I won't vote for yours, Emma, because I really like the little demony guy. It was great. And I did see you did a Perv Crew version of it too, which was sick. But also he's holding a guitar. And, you know, I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I do like guitar. Not very good at playing it, but I do like it. So while you're doing that, I'm going to fix... Ah, for fuck's sake. Shut up. I forgot to go studio mode. Boom. And then I can change sources and things. There we go. Right. Sorry, y'all. Love you too, Emma. Love you lots. I do. Would I've... No, I definitely didn't put it in the stream assets folder because I wouldn't do that. That's like a clever thing to do. Okay, it must be this one. And if it's not, then I don't know. Right, we're in the poll. All right, so I do have to vote, and I will vote. End poll, please. There we go. 16 votes. 68% say vote you douche. 31% of you giggled at the word poll, which I respect immensely. And nobody said don't vote. So I do need to vote. And I do kind of want to vote on stream so everybody knows what I went for. But at the same time, like, there's kind of no need to. So, yeah, Droopy Poll lost, as it often does. Love more so much. Fuck it, I'm voting for Still Cities. All right, I'm voting for this one because I love it. It's just so wacky and cool. It's got a poop emoji. It's got monkeys. It's got a Deadpool thing. It's got the unfornicated thing. It's got booze for Mike. It's got seals. It's got fish. It's got vapes. It's got a giraffe, which is sexy as hell. And yes, 1 and 2 counts as one vote because DPK. Okay. Yeah. But I knew that. It says 1 and 2 on the vote for me, like a joint vote. It is a joint vote. If the Tiles entries win, Tiles gets to pick which one wins. I'm voting for Steel City. Boom. Vote! There we go. All right, now I get to see what's what. MS is right fucking up there and winning. And Copes is up there. All right, very cool. So there's 102 minutes left. Plenty of votes to be had. So get over to the Discord, join the server. We'll copy that link. Again, I will pin it. Yeah, Emmett, that's the problem. Like, the old saying, killing babies, like, all of the logos are great. And having to choose one to vote on. And, like, all the way through, I know why everyone was saying, like, oh, only one vote. Yeah. And it's infuriating and it's a problem. But it's the fairest way to do it. Otherwise, we're all just going to vote for all of them. And we won't make any progress in terms of which one is going to be the Zoo Crew logo. If we have to, we'll take the top 3. We'll go to another round of voting or something. which isn't really fair on everybody else. But come hell or high water, that poll is going to end. We're all going to know where it's at, and that's reason enough for me to go live again, potentially later tonight. But also, Mike and Dan should have some input into announcing the winner, even though we can all see it. So, no, it doesn't matter. You absolutely are writing an accepted speech, Copium Emporium. It needs to be 2,000 words, 1.5 space in Times New Roman. Okay? And it needs to be vetted extensively. Ugh. Okay. Right. I'm going to wrap it up there. We have streamed for 3 hours and 20 minutes, which for me is pretty good. I may or may not be back on tonight. I need to check with my lady to see what shift she's working tomorrow. She's working day shift. I won't be able to stream tomorrow night because we'll be hanging out. I haven't seen her for over a week. So make of that what you will. Baby fucking. And yeah. Videos, I'll be working on some editing this afternoon, doing all the things. Anyway, it's been super fun hanging out with all of you. Thanks for letting me rant and rave. We had our first Flatty visit, which was amazing. Thank you to Timmy for swinging by. Thank you to My Mum Bakes Cakes and Calder for dropping some links for us to check out. That was fun. Going off on Ironworks. Somebody last night. No, see, all you've done there is taken the messages I've sent you about your mum and tried to turn it back around, and I'm immune to that shit. Cool. So we're going to go out with the latest release from DP Music Studios, who is not as good as Conspiracy Music Studios, but it's a thing. FP Debunks, that's not my name, Mark. Mark, that's not the, that's a good idea. Dan, have a look at Mark's comment there. Why the fuck didn't we think of that? God damn it. Too late. We're doing a thing. Brand new track on the way. Again, thank you, everybody. This comment from Mark. He sent it to FP Debunks, my evil twin. There you go. I know it was a typo, but you're never going to live it down. Again, thank you all for the support. Thank you to insanely generous folks for dropping super chats and memberships. Meat Permits Tad, Tori Hanzo, Real Cygnus, Cold of a Sold, and Emma sending 10 Debunkerships as well. You guys are incredible and beautiful, beautiful souls and human beings, and you make me happy. Bring a smile to my face. Winner absolutely gets free merch. Top 3 or 4? Yeah. I will work on sorting out the Discord thing over the next couple of weeks so we can get people on and just shoot the shit and have a chat and laugh at stuff, because that'll be fun. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm really, really hungry. Yes, Emma, everybody deserves it. I 100% agree. But we're committed to doing the voting thing. We'll do the voting thing. We'll have a winner or a successful submission. And as Dan said, we'll still absolutely do the sticker sheet, do the drink container. I can't remember what I committed to. The shirt, hoodie, whatever. That's going to be a thing. And then we can all discuss what's going to happen after that. Or you can all discuss, Zukru, is what you want to do. Because it's not just up to us. It's fine. Just maybe what we could do, yeah, we can kick ideas around. I'm just going to throw this out there and then I am going to sign off. What if, right, like, Dan, you did one species with 1 or 2 Zukru logos. Mike does the same. I do the same. So it's not just the one Zukru design. There's multiples, but we can each make 1 or 2 different ones available. That's an idea. If the Zoo Crew want to go that route, I'm happy to do my part and facilitate that. I'm sure everybody else would as well. Yeah, Emma, I know Mark had a good idea and it makes me feel dirty as well. God damn it. Not just a pretty face. You've not just a pretty face. You've misspelled even. I'm kidding. You're a handsome, handsome man. Yes, Joe's logo for sure. And again, as stated, I'll go back to Joe and he can choose which of the OG ones it should be, and we'll erase the rework from history. Right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I love you all sincerely, not like romantically, a platonic style, like brothery, sistery, cousin type deal, but not like Southern US style, more the platonic traditional sense without any none of that. I really do appreciate all of your support. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for hanging out on the streams, being engaged in the chat, helping each other out and having a laugh, getting the elbows into the ribs, and all being good sports and good humoured about it. It's amazing. You are all my kind of people, and this is one of my favourite things to do, regardless of taking a week off. As I said, not a reflection on any of you at all, except maybe Dan. Yeah, not like Flair Steve's resolution. Why does DP have to bring up incest at the end of the stream? Because if I did it at the start of the stream, we'd attract the wrong crowd. That's why. I told you I was working on a revised sign-off. That's what I'm going with. All right, let's get the hell out of here. It's not going to be the usual ending stream. You can watch this video. I will see you all very, very soon. Keep your eyes on the channel for updates. Get on the Discord. Voting has 101 minutes left. Until next time, I shall see you next time. For the love of God, don't kill yourselves. And from me here in the Debunkatorium, see you all soon. Love you. Bye.
So, you wanna be a flat earther? Awesome! Let me tell you what you gotta do. Here we go! Step one, throw your brain away. Forget everything they taught you in school today. Gravity's a lie, just like space. Now tilt your head and ignore what you face. Deny the pictures, deny the facts. Call it CGI and twist the cracks. Pretend the meme is evidence and never, ever use common sense. Oh, so you wanna be a flat earther? Welcome to the cult, now your brain's gonna hurt. Throw out science, forget the math. Just follow the grip down the YouTube path. Step two, buy a level and a laser beam. Make a test, but don't check the screen. If it proves the curve, just throw it away. Blame refraction, gaslight, and say NASA's faking. Wake up, sheep. Water's flat, the curve ain't deep. Antarctica's a big ice wall. Trust me, bro, I know it all. Oh, so you wanna be a flat earther? Welcome to the cult, now your brain's gonna hurt. Reject the globe, embrace the lies, and never look up at the skies. Step three, learn to dodge and weave. When facts show up, just make them leave. Say perspective when things get rough, and if that fails, just make stuff up. The sun's small and local, I swear it's true. The moon's a light, not a rock to you. NASA steals $1 trillion. Science is fake, trust you too much. Alright, now listen up. If the earth was spinning, we'd all be flung. Airplanes would have to dive to stay up, son. Ships disappear, that's just a trick. And satellites, man, get off NASA's script. Oh, so you wanna be a flat earther? Welcome to the ride, it just gets worse. Say goodbye to your family and friends. This
you're a goddamn flatty now.